Five.
11.
Hello! We are back. How is it going? We were like shooting the shit, and I was just telling them, I was like, I'd like to just sit here and chat, but like, you know, we came here for a task at hand.
Yeah, to sit here and chat.
We had to sit here and chat. That's literally it. I first want to say that unfortunately, Brandon won't be joining us. They got kind of called away, but we love them anyway, and I'm just gonna post his socials and stuff just in case you want to go take a look. At like the cosplay and all this other stuff, and the Twitch channel 2B, I believe. I think it's already established, but I don't know if they're streaming yet. But please check them out. It is awesome. But then the rest of us will go through and introduce ourselves and you know, talk a little bit about. Also, because this isn't obviously we're not playing D&D, we usually like introduce our characters and such. I think if you could just mention like maybe what character you played in Act 3, if you made it there or whatever it might be, let us know. But I'll start with Nenders because I like putting him on the spot.
My name is Nenders. My hands are full of nachos and I need to clean them, but I can't because I'm talking. So this is going to be a very interesting test. I DM on Fridays, Victim on Foozca's campaign on Saturdays, and I played a sorcerer in my Baldur's Gate Campagna. By the time I was in Act 3, I believe I had respected almost entirely to cold, if memory serves. But yeah, that's this lovely clown boy here, tiefling sorcerer, dragon blood, that whole lovely stuff. So I was out there freezing folks. Those poor Sahuagin never stood a chance. Instant.
Oh wow, yeah.
Perma.
Yep.
What's it called? When you get I had frostbite. That's anywho. I'm babbling. I'm cleaning my hands. Joe, my N7 brother, take it away.
It's true. Happy N7 Day. Yet another trailer that's very cool, but ultimately you don't want to get your hopes up because they've yet to give you any sort of real information or timeline. There were some hints about it being tied to Andromeda in some way, but they also said it won't be a sequel to Andromeda. This is not what we're here to talk about, but it's exciting without being exciting. Anyway, play Mass Effect. It's a national holiday today. I'm Joe. I haven't said that yet. I'm Joe, and I'm around. I'm here on Fridays now. Well, it's been a minute, but we're getting back to Fridays. And I was replaced on Saturdays, so that's fine. Sunday, we play Dungeons and Dragons over at Dispel Logic. We just fought some ghost devils, and at least one person is maybe going to get sucked into a portal to hell. Probably not, though. We'll fix it. It's fine. And, you know, I think all of twice now, I've streamed just random video games, and that happens when I have time. So...
Beavers.
Eventually. So, yes, it was beavers at the outset, and then fighting in confined areas.
What? Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Fights in tight spaces. I'll probably do that again just to finish that run. We'll see how far we get. I can say it's fine, and it means everything. Your rogue is absolutely not dead, and leave it be. Save me from this, and please, you say words now shiny.
Say words now, Shiny. Hi, everyone. My name's Shiny. I stream over on my channel, The Shiny Boy, on Thursdays. We do D&Ds. That's all I do with the streaming. I have thought about streaming Baldur's Gate, but I have got enough people free on days that I'm free to do it.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
That is the tough part. It's almost like it's D&D's plague.
Yep.
No, scheduling problems.
I'm talking about it. It was super easy to schedule this.
I know, right? So in Baldur's Gate, I played a Dark Urge run, which I have all sorts of secret stuff for it. Yeah, my mouth ain't working properly on this one. I don't know why it's not doing it.
Oh, is your mouth not like moving?
No, it's not. I tried like 7 times before we started stream.
Oh no! I was too busy setting things up. I didn't even notice.
Oh, it would help if I actually click start on that.
You look like a prophet. Oh,
Oh my! There we go.
there you go.
Hey, there we go. I could have sworn I had a thing for you. I gotta make one apparently. I guess I've just been shouting you out every time, but I thought we had a command for you. I will fix that immediately. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh wow!
What did you? Oh yeah, you played a Dark
back.
Urge. What class were you?
I was a paladin warlock.
Ooh,
Yeah.
very cool.
Why is it super lag?
Slight technical difficulties, but otherwise.
Yeah, it was a paladin.
I realized I didn't say anything about my character. I played a paladin, but the one I was playing most recently was a dwarf monk, which feels appropriately because they have massive hands.
They do. The dwarves in this game have.
And late game, boy, did I throw hands.
Oh yeah.
As you should.
I also went way down the all the tadpole things,
Oh,
Oh, very cool.
and I ended up completing the tree and getting the achievements.
Is there an
Oh
achievement
shit!
for it?
You went
I
the
didn't know
whole.
that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
went all the way.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going in.
Yeah.
like cowboy. Oh no, this isn't the paladin. This is a ranger. I forgot that was behind me. That's the ranger from
It's
the game
hippo.
that we restream. That is a defensive term.
Is it?
He
It's
is
accurate,
just
though.
a man.
Well, actually, that's true. I think I was laughing about the fact that I called him a himbo, but he had the highest int in the T.
Smarter than
Everyone
everybody
else
else.
was like 8. It was not good.
Smarter and more handsome and better related than everybody else.
There you go.
That's his whole personality.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's got a
Anyway,
bear friend.
he does Bear. His name is Bear. And
Bear,
we shout
go!
Bear every time. Yeah. We just shout Bear the whole time. But I'm Foos. Hello. I literally just finished my second run, which was my tactician run yesterday. But my first run was a druid that eventually turned cleric because I was tired of Shadowheart. And my second run was a no healer run. It's just my main was a wizard and everyone else was just throwing potions, so it was great. Lae'zel didn't even need potions at the end; she just healed herself. It was fantastic. So it was amazing. It was amazing. So yeah, those were both of my runs, and both times, interestingly enough, because you were talking about like the tadpole stuff. I didn't touch it on my druid for numerous reasons, because like Foos didn't want to, and then also like. As a person who I was like, if they're being natural and they're like, this is some nasty shit, I decided that like the character wouldn't want to either. So I didn't touch it at all. But in the second one, I experimented a tiny bit, but not much. And I was like, it's fine. I'm not compelled to go further. But that was my experience. And we're here to talk about Act 3. And super spoilers, obviously. So if anybody does not want to be spoiled or anything for Act 3, this is your chance to run away, because pretty much everything will be spoilers. This is a heads up.
Yeah.
Please run away. It's a great game, and if you haven't played it through, please do. It's amazing.
Yes, 100%. Definitely deserves the attention and love that it has gotten, and even more so, I would say. Larian's amazing. But Act 3, it pretty much, depending on how you you have to get there, because I'm thinking of like the Underdark way. There's one way in, and I think the closest thing is like the circus / like some of the like outskirtsy refugees stuck on the outside of the city kind of stuff. But I was talking to Nenners about this. I remember when we first arrived, I was like, I felt overwhelmed because
Mhm.
there were so many things, and I was like, I
So
want to
many
touch
things to do.
and talk to everything.
Oh, there is. There's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like I adjusted to it after like maybe 1 or 2 sessions in the city, but initially I was like, where do I start? Where do I even start?
I think they did a good job with the low level urgency because like you're like, oh, Baldur's Gate, the Splendor, all this stuff, and like you clearly have big things to do. But then you're like, oh, someone's trying to blow up the children. And then there's a guy going out there like a literal murder list, and you kind of vaguely know where they are, and you're trying to stop them from getting murked by some bald psycho. So I think they did a good job of like kind of like pulling you into the city rather than letting you like malaise about. I think
That was very fun for me because the first time I did it the second time, but the first time I didn't find the blowing up the children bit at first, and so when I got to it, it was just like, yeah, you got to go investigate. And I looked at my map and I went, where though? Probably this donation place. That's logical.
Yeah.
I don't need a map marker, but there should be something for me to do here, though. Is what I'm saying. No,
Yeah.
they're gonna die then. I got other shit to do, I guess.
Joe said, "Fuck them kids."
That's what the paladin did.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they made it interactable, I'd have done it. The other guy, the monk, was like, yeah, fucking no, stop that, bad.
Oh my god.
Oh, fucking the guy who's doing it though, when they try and like it's the heavy-handedness of like the people living in his house. I was like, there's no. You're a dick, but it's your house. Like, no, leave.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad. Like, I get rich people aren't great, but this is bad. What you're doing is not good either. And I don't like that so much of my options are beat you up to make you leave. I just want you to leave. Can you leave?
Yeah.
There were like no in-betweens for that, but for that situation, I was like, you know what? All right, I'm just gonna leave them there for now, and you can fuck off. I don't know how, but in the first one, I don't know if I know I never used intimidate, so I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a persuasion check or something. But I got him to leave, and he was just kind of annoyed, and like the family was like, well, "I'll leave. We'll leave eventually, or whatever. We're not gonna like stay here forever." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And I don't know what I did in the second one, but it was basically like, I think maybe I failed the check. But he was like, "Oh, all my guards are gonna kill you now," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're fighting."
Oh yeah.
So I wound up killing them, and I was like, "I didn't want to, but I don't know how I got here, but here we are."
The first time I was basically like, y'all are all not great. I'm not my table. And then his bodyguards were like, we'll make you leave, and then they took care of it. The second time I was like, fine, you guys get out. You shouldn't be here. And then his guards were like, how dare you? You cost us money. Fight. I'm like, all right,
I don't them at all.
if you want to
Alright.
die.
I'm down with the smoke. I'm here for it.
Everyone
Dude,
knows
also-
the dark riches.
that was
So what-
that was also the introduction to the Thieves Guild or whatever, right? Or the because those bodyguards are a part of that group, I thought, weren't they?
Part of this is Centaurum?
Not Zentarum,
No,
the other, the
Oh, the
No.
Nine
King
Fingers
or
and all that?
whatever.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, they were.
yeah.
Okay.
I
that was like
encountered them on the
origins of that.
beach.
Mm-hmm.
I took care
Yeah,
of that. in
they'll
total.
point you to the beach.
But we'll
as
talk
well
about
to
that
get on
later.
their good side. Fun fact: at that point in the Dark Urge run, it was a solo Dark Urge run.
Is that because
I-
all your friends, all your companions were
'cause they,
murdered, or?
Because they thought they could take the smoke of the padlock and they couldn't.
Oh no.
And they caught it, cut the whole
They
thing.
caught my hair. They caught the spice in camp, and I was solo at that point.
Whoa, that is fascinating.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Holy
Jeez.
shit! How do you do Act 3 solo? Does it scale down to you, or is it just
No,
ridiculous?
No, it does. You save a
Imagine
lot.
that would-
You
You save a lot. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Make lots of checkpoints for yourself.
where you play a paladin warlock and just say fuck everything. Smite, log rest. Smite.
Long rest.
You save and you sleep a lot. That's how you do it.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
The dude right there in the background of my picture, he does not have insomnia. If anything, he has narcolepsy.
He is a well-rested individual.
The game kind of forces you to. I realized on the second run, Okay, I'm gonna sleep 6 days in a row to make sure I'm run out of cutscenes. Now I can move on.
I honestly feel like it's like that in the beginning. I think like Act 1's heavy with that stuff, and Act 2 pretty much as well.
Act 3
In
for
Act
me was
3?
still.
No, I felt like maybe 5 nights, and then after that, fucking barren. I'd like not much happen after that.
Oh, I had a ton
So
going on.
you
I think I
guys
had
want like
all
the
way
Dark
through.
Urge spoilers of what happens in Act 3 at the end of this?
Well, we don't want
At the-
spoilers in this chat.
I think at the end,
at the end,
that just so that you have your own block of like space. Just because I don't
yeah,
want to.
I've played through it. I've played through it being good, so I still have those endings and stuff.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
there you go. So there's options there.
I got irritated in my second run through because the person who's like, that's Shadowheart, and we are mad at you, did that in the first run through, and then he's like, yeah, come to the place and we'll beat you up. If she like throws away the,
Yeah, she did.
if she throws away the spear,
She throws away the spear.
and then she's like, all of my former allies are enemies now.
Yeah.
And then in the refugee camp, there's a guy selling stuff, and he's like, hey, I know your face.
I don't think I ran into that.
Well, in any
wait,
case,
did she need to be in your party, or was this like an act camp thing? Oh, absolutely not. No, she was benched.
then yeah. Well, she was my cleric,
That's
so that happened. And in round 2, when she wasn't in my party, he was like, yeah, I'm just a guy who has all these dope-ass magic items you didn't have a chance to buy last time. Because I fucked off immediately. Oh, great. I'm glad to know these are here. The Dwarven Thrower, one of my favorite items. I'm a dwarf. I'll pick that up.
I'll take that for sure, thanks. Yeah, no, she was absolutely not in my party. That's why I was like, what do you mean?
Ruining some shit. Granted, I couldn't have used the Dwarven Thrower the first time. I mean, I just wouldn't be able to use it completely. It's fun on the monk because my fists do more damage, but occasionally you don't have enough movement, so then I just throw it and unequip it again. So it's in my backpack.
Good.
The trident you get from the genie is amazing, by the way, with Tavern Brawler.
I didn't realize he turned me into a cheese and I fucked off. I was like, all right, fine, bye.
So the inside of the circus camp thing, if you either beat him at the spinning wheel by like passing a sleight of hand or a perception or whatever, he goes, you're a cheater, I've caught you, be gone, poof, and he poofs you off to this tropical land with dinosaurs, and you have to get to an exit portal.
Oh,
fucking damn.
And right next to the portal, there's a chest that you can pick or break, and inside of it is this really dope trident that you throw it, and when it lands, it deals a bunch of thunder or lightning damage.
Yeah, and then it comes back to the
and then it automatically re-equips to your hand.
Yeah. I kept forgetting that there was a throwing aspect to it every now and then. So I was just like, yeah, you can hit. Oh, we're out of range. Oh, well, take out your bow. Then I was like, wait a minute. God damn it. I kept forgetting. But I passed the perception check on my druid and he didn't give a shit. He was just like, okay, yeah, I cheat. Fuck right off. And I couldn't do anything else. I was like, okay, I guess. I just closed out the whole conversation with him. But on my wizard, you can just buy the ring that he's using because he has like a ring of mage hand or something. That was like what was rigging the wheel. So if you just buy it off of him, then he can't do it anymore. And he's like, you cheated. And then that's when he sent me off. Except I didn't know that was going to happen. So when I got fucking thrown into the like jungle with a bunch of fucking dinosaurs and it was just my wizard like alone, I was like, I'm just gonna stealth over here, so don't mind me. Especially because Nenders knows, but Foos likes to push it, so I like to make sure I have like no spell slots left, no nothing left. So like this was I was like tinkering, like teetering on the edge of like needing a break, but I was like, nah, let's go. So I was like, I have 2 level 3s and a level 1 and 2 dinosaurs. It's not great. Let's stealth to the portal. Let's get out of here. So I got out that way.
I have yet to really engage with the stealth mechanic. Occasionally, I'm like, well, that dude's on a cliff. I'm gonna sneak up and push him off, and then we'll go. But every time I've ever like, this gives you disadvantage on stealth, I was like, oh no. Anyway.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like you can't stealth anymore. I'm like, what a fucking burden.
Yeah, I didn't use stealth very much either, for the most part.
Almost like I want to kick the door in and kill everybody because
That's pretty
it's
much what it.
more fun gameplay.
Yes, that's who's all around. At the circus, did you guys? What was it? I know I talked to the others about this, but during one of the acts, the dribbles act or whatever, obviously you get ambushed. But before that, with the animals, because there's like the raptor and the displacer beast. The raptor was easy enough because you could just feed him and he's like, I'm good. And then with the displacer beast, when I spoke to her, and she was like, they took my babies and I'm gonna get them all. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of on your side. So I did some janky shit and opened the cage before I got ambushed. I didn't know there was an ambush happening. So I was like, be free, my friend. And she just ran off. Like, nobody attacked her or us. Like, she just ran off. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I walked into the ambush.
It was like, wow, that's not my job.
Yeah. I think as soon as she was out, they were like, well, go well.
Didn't even think to try. And I was playing an Oath of Ancients. I always can talk to animals paladin.
Oh,
I just barely ever did because I was like, what are they going to say? It's a bird. I don't need to be talking to you. Goodbye.
The displacer beast was a psychopath, though. It's like, I'm gonna kill everyone. They took my like it was like everyone is gonna die. Yeah, but it wasn't like they took my babies. I want to go kill them. It was like as soon as I get out of this fucking cage, it's on like Donkey Kong. Everybody here.
Like I said, I let her go and she ran away. She was not trying to kill everybody. Look, then sometimes
you threw a live grenade in a crowd that didn't detonate.
I did.
You don't get props for
I
that.
do. I absolutely do. Because I connected with her, Denners. I felt it.
What do you want with the displacer beast? Not everyone who has a child taken is Liam Neeson. Most of them will panic rage and hunt everything until it's resolved.
I was down for that. Get the hunters first, and then I'll do the rest. I'll like knock.
Yeah, the raptor. I was like, I'll just give you food. You'll probably just chow down. Also, raptors didn't look adept at chewing biologically, so I'm like, I got some time, right? Like, I just give him a lot of meat. It's gonna take him some time. I'll be fine.
No, didn't even think about it. I talked to the dude. He was like, yeah, things closed. I was like, all right, fine.
Yeah. He just moved on. To the questions about that face paint on your clown, that is where you can get face paint for your clown.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
That's where it happens. That's where it happens, Captain.
Dude, it is so funny. I put it on. I was like, yeah, I'm not taking this off for a while. There was a bug when I did it when it took off Lazelle's makeup. I don't know if you can see.
Oh my.
Like she's like.
So she like doesn't have the black marks on her?
She doesn't have
she
anything
doesn't.
Yet.
Yo, she doesn't.
Weird.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I didn't notice until now that anyone else had clown makeup. I wasn't looking away from your face. Glowing eyes clown.
Yeah, that's the screenshot he's used every time.
Well, I had this like crazy red dread hair, and I'm like, it goes perfect with the makeup.
It does. It goes so good.
It just makes him look like a completely unhinged person.
Yep.
Which, I mean, he basically played like one. Yeah.
Yeah, also, that was, I think, the first time I encountered name shapeshifter.
Orin?
That one.
Orin? Oh, yes.
Which
By
was
the
a
way-
nifty concept, but by the second or third time, I was like, I get it. I'll deal with you eventually. It's hard for you to keep this narrative. I'm everywhere and anywhere, but I'm also like chasing around pigeons that have missing letters. So you can't pick a lane.
Yo, you got to admit, though, the blacksmith one that she does was hysterical.
Oh yeah. By the way, as the Dark Urge, every single interaction with Orin is different.
All right. Cool.
Completely different.
Also, it really depends on what like you're interacting with in terms of where she'll pop up. So in the first one, it was like, I'm gonna explore and talk to everybody, and I was like, I love the way they did that, just because like in the like social aspect of it, it really did feel like as though you were being stalked or something. It's like, I talked to you a block away. Could you fuck off? I just want to talk to this person. Go away. But in the second one, I was way more direct because I knew what points I wanted to hit. So in that, I think she only popped up once, and then I killed her. So then obviously nothing happened after that. But that was kind of interesting to see.
Especially because it gets to the part where she kidnaps somebody. It's like, yeah, I should be urgent about this, but it's Lae'zel, so no one cares. I will see you later.
Bazel, my girl.
I'm sure you're fine, but I'm pretty sure I saw a submarine, so I'm gonna deal with that because that's way more interesting.
My first one, I was laughing with Nanners. She took Yenna, the little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, she
And-
wasn't Yenna?
No, like that could be an option. Essentially, I think it's a matter of like who you have possibly active, like in your team, or who was last used possibly, or like whatever. But they took Yenna, and I was like, I got time. I'll come back to it eventually. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the most like unmotherly person you could possibly take a child from. I was like,
Interesting.
I'm not wildly interested.
She showed up at camp, and then once somebody was kidnapped, it's like, oh, I assume it's the child that you met first thing. And the
Yeah.
second time, I was just kind of like, oh, that sucks. Here's some gold. Your mom will turn up. Bye. And then I never saw the kid again, but her cat showed up at camp. I was like, what?
Really?
No.
Both times she asked to come to my camp, and I was like, sure. The first time she took Yenna, and the second time she took Gale. Because I was a wizard, so Gale was like permabenched, so he was level 2, and I was like, oh, you know he got fucked up. There's no way. There's no way he was able to defend himself at all. That was entertaining. To say the
Oh,
least.
so when they like tried to smoke me because there were too many dead bodies at camp, I only had my party, which were other friends' characters. So they were all like level 1, 2, or 3 at the most. Going up against a level 10 or like 9 or 10. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, he smoked. Bam, one shot. Bam,
Yeah.
one shot.
Absolutely.
I think I like 2-turned the party. I was like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah. If they're tiny babies, there's no way.
Oh,
They stand no
the
chance.
babies.
I think we mentioned this maybe off stream at some point, but did anybody? I think Shiny, you mentioned it because you can get the map of Dribble's body parts if you're Dark Urge.
Yep.
But otherwise, it's like you have to stumble your way across the city and just
I
find
fucking
them.
gave up.
Otherwise-
I had like 90% of that dude's stupid body. And that necromancer still wanted more. I was like, what do you want? I can't find the stupid hands. I don't know where his hands are. Just deal with it.
So as the Dark Urge, you find the first one, and it's like there's this extra cutscene where it's like Ball wants you to do it, and you're like, okay, we go here. And you have a cutscene with the person.
Paul
that's
wants you to
trying-
find
like,
the body?
No, he wants you to complete the bodies because there's NPCs they're trying to hunt and kill.
Okay.
So he wants you to commit the murders.
Oh,
And at the
okay.
murders, you find your bodies at some point, which then gets you the points for all the other body parts.
Right. Okay. That's nonsense. That's very funny though.
But he wants you to complete it and spread the body parts everywhere.
The first time, I didn't even go talk to the necromancer. So I came across, I think I found a torso first. I was like, well, that's what happened to the clown. And then I just moved the fuck on. I didn't pick it up. I didn't do anything about it. And just left. And then, I guess talking to you guys probably have heard about it. Oh, so the second time I talked to the necromancer. And then I got like 3 pieces. I don't care.
The first time I got screwed because I think I mentioned it too to you guys, but there was a glitch where if you steal the hand but you're not like caught, it won't count for your quest. So no matter what I did, I couldn't get the hand to count. So I got all the other body parts, but the hand wouldn't count, and I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just moving on. And in this one, I did manage to complete everything. And she did give you some gloves or whatever, but they were not like at all worth it, in my opinion. Once I got it, I was like, oh, okay. I was just curious, but I would not do it again. It's not worth it.
I heard
but
from
I'm actually...
someone. I'm sorry.
Okay. No,
I
go
thought
ahead,
you were
go ahead.
done. My fault.
Mine's off topic, so please continue.
Oh, I heard from someone that her gear was good. Like if you killed her, you got like some good stuff. But I was going just like super violent hero that run, so I didn't murk people.
It does kind of make me want to be a necromancer just so that I can get to that point and kill her and then be like, and you work for me now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
By the way, if you ever want a merchant's entire inventory and you don't want to pay for it, non-lethal them, and then you can loot their entire inventory.
Interesting. Most of the time,
Also-
I know you can pickpocket their whole inventory. I mean, you have to pass the
Slowly.
check every time, but yeah.
Also, if you pick any NPC up and put them into your inventory, you can just equip stuff. So, like in Act 3, when you go to the temple, and you can go to is it Tyr's chest that's down below her, or is it Bahamut's chest? Anyway, in the temple, you go down underneath, and there's this chest that has an amulet to one of the good gods there. You can steal it, and you get cursed. Well, then if you remove the curse, a deva appears and fights you. Well, when you kill him, there's nothing there. You can go back to the body later and loot a pouch, and you get a weapon. Or you can pick up the body and just equip their weapon. And it smites on a hit, basically.
That is some goofy shit. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Out here killing devas.
Also, how do you get to a chest in the temple? I assume donating at the statues?
Yeah, or you can just sneak down underneath, and there's the chest is there, and there's an amulet in the chest.
Is
I
that the
tried-
temple where the murder was?
I think that's
Ilmater? Ilmater?
Ilmater?
Oh, I assumed you were talking about the one in the city where you could, like, there was just a guy who could shop and where you'd talk to Mistra.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because there's like that temple thing, and then there's the temple before you get into the city, where like
'Cause
that
the-
murder mystery was happening.
Yeah, but that one you're dropping off an amulet, essentially, because you're the laughing monk guy.
Yeah, which hilarious. Which some kooky shit. How did that work out for you guys? Actually, the amulet with the monk.
I heard his daughter was already dead for like 300 years or something like that.
It's like his granddaughter too. I think.
The first time I was like, yeah, I'll take your curse, and then just passed the shit out of some wisdom saves because paladin. With the charisma bonus, not necessarily inherent wisdom. But I was like, I'm a good guy, I'll do it. The monk, I was like, here's the thing though. I need this to have monk powers, not laughing powers. So no.
So the temple's at the one near the Basilisk Gate.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
in the city. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
that's the one you need to go to. You go underneath, you steal the amulet, you get cursed, and then you remove the curse, you fight the deva, and it deals. It's a 1d6 bludgeoning and then 4d8 radiant on a hit. So it's not even a base level smite; it's a 3rd level smite.
Jesus.
Yummy
Every-
radiant damage. Woo!
Yeah.
Every
At one
hit.
point, I spent a lot of time donating one of the statues to see if it would ever do anything. I was like, oh, this is just going to be a waste of my time and money? Bye. It was an absurd amount. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm trying to think what
also-
else happens before you get into the city proper. I mean, there's the pigeons,
Yeah.
which is much more interesting with Gale.
Bitches.
It was much more
Yeah.
interesting with Gale in your party.
Yeah.
The second
Oh,
time, it was just
100%.
like, cat, leave. And it did.
Yeah, it was like, please shoot.
Competition.
Yep.
Oh man, there's so many
That
things in
was-
Act 3.
Yeah, but that was.
There
This
it
is all like the stuff before you get into the city. I mean, you do have the opportunity to speak with Wolbrand again, because he's in that like
Mhm.
cave or whatever. That fucking little terrorist.
Little
It's
terrorist.
just like,
that you-
oh my god! In the first one, he was like, "Well, why don't look? I know you disagree, but like, can you just take the bomb in case you think of another? You know, if you can't think of any other solution." And I was like, "No." And in the second one, I was like, "Sure, I'll take the bomb. I'm not using it for what you want, though. You use this somewhere else." So, second one, I took it, which cracked me up because if you don't take it, like certain, NPCs you have with you might approve or disapprove. But when I did take it, Karlak was like, "How dare you?" And I'm like, "I'm not using it on the gnomes. I'm just gonna use it somewhere else." But that was kind of amusing.
Yeah, terrorism. That guy was so like.
Fucking hate
I
that
kind
guy.
of understood like once you saw what the steel watches were and how they helped you when you first get into that tussle, and then just like
Oh, they helped you
throwing
in.
bombs
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
steel watches and stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. I liked how it wasn't just blind terrorism. I think I was really worried about that. Like, they kicked us out 200 years ago, and we're gonna fucking
Yeah.
bomb them all. But when you get there, they're all like, no, something had to be done about the factory. The Gondians are pretty much at that point anyway. So, I mean, as far as large
was just-
explosions in civilian centers. That wasn't a bad one.
Him talking about the Gondians though, that man was just like,
He was right though. They were
fucking
bitches.
Gondians.
He's not
like,
wrong.
Oh my god, dude. They had their whole anyway.
As someone who
anything
had to go save them, I 100% agree.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why, but both times I managed to save all of them. the second time, it was only because I was just chucking potions at them every opportunity I got. Because I was like, I know you're running into this explosion. I can't stop you from doing that, but at least I'll keep you alive. But that was very entertaining. So that's all like outside.
Yeah, it's all in Worms Crossing, right?
Yeah. And then when you
The Harper's Den is interesting. That's
also,
right.
Is that right? I think it's. Oh, that's still like the Worms Crossing area.
Yeah, that's right after the first gate.
Talk about
I
on the
also
beach
feel
where they
like
fight,
this. Sorry, go ahead.
on the beach where they fight the finger people.
Well, that's the Finger People versus the Stone Lord.
Yeah.
I hate the Don't call them the finger people.
No, just the Finger People.
Oh my gosh.
Look, some people be fingering the Stone Lord's men, and we just happen to come across it.
Yeah,
Just
they didn't see
happened to
the-
run into it.
Right.
That one dude had to sneak in the word "cuck" every chance he got. Dude, what is your obsession with this word, dude?
I was real disappointed. The second time I bothered to check out the boat, they're like, yeah, precious cargo. Do you help us keep it so good for you? And I went and looked. I was like, oh, it's just fucking worm. Great. You can fucking have it. Bye.
Absolutely nothing. I also killed everyone because I was like, this is just a bunch of shitty people in one spot and I don't give a shit. So
It's
you're all
just that there was one not shitty person in there. Did you talk to Undead?
Oh,
one of them
That's
was a
waste of
Harper
everyone's
agent.
time.
I don't.
That like the tall
No,
elf
I
one,
did.
she was a Harper agent. Yeah, when you talk to her, you're like, "Who are you?" She's like, "Blah blah blah of the Harpers," and you're like, "Oh no." You're like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm a double agent." I was like, "Oh," because
Oh,
she's the
wow.
one that actually tries to parlay with you. Like when you go to attack them both, and she like tries to talk you out of it. She's actually the agent. If you kill them all,
Ah.
she goes down too.
To be honest, Harper would find a very elaborate way to die anyway because every single fucking Harper in every goddamn combat I was in was like, I have a bow, but I'm gonna run into melee range with this guy in the middle of that fucking Hunger of Adar. Make sure I get hit by all of the AoEs and the enemy AoEs. And I was like, I can't. I'm not trying to save all these damn Harpers, these idiots.
No sense
too
of
much.
self-preservation.
No, not at all. But yeah, I definitely like. I killed everyone there the second time. The first time, pretty sure I sided against the Zentrum because fuck them. And at the time, I was like, I don't know who these finger people are, so we'll figure that out too.
You're saying it.
Yeah, I'm saying I've hopped on the bandwagon here. There was something else. Oh, I thought it was funny how it felt like the game was trying so hard to get you into that goddamn brothel.
Oh,
like,
God, yeah.
go meet the detective in Shares's Caress. Also, there's a plot point you should go check out Shares's Caress. Raphael's hanging out in Shares's Caress. The Gith Yankee is hanging out in Shares's Caress. Like, everybody's in the brothel.
Or
Like,
you get
I
near
get
it. You get near it, and the NPCs are all talking about it.
Yeah,
Well
exactly.
done,
I was
yeah.
like, this game is just trying to get me into this damn brothel. I'm like, I mean, I was going there anyway because of all the like quests that were there, but I was like, man, there's a lot in this little space.
It's not worth your time. The dwarf bondage mistress is one of the murder victims, so you can't even do anything fun there. No. They just made such a big point of calling out that NPC and how she's dead now.
Was it wait, was that the mom of the murderer one? Was it that dwarf or was it another one? Because there's one where she goes missing and then the lady's like, can you go find her? And then when you go to find her, she was the mom of the murderer dwarf guy.
I have no idea if they're related to a murderer. That might be a detail I missed. All I know is she was like, yeah, I would love to show you our bondage mistress, but she hasn't shown up for work. I was like, oh, this
Yeah,
person?
that's her.
Super
She
dead.
was the mom of the murder man.
Mm-hmm.
There's like
Well.
there's a journal that you have to like, or you can speak with her. But if you find her journal, she's like, I think my son's up to some shit and I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
But then when you speak with her body, she's like, yeah, he found out. Well, I found out and I confronted him and then he murdered me. So it's like, oh boy. Well, there's that. Yeah, Okay, now I'm starting to remember that conversation. Yeah, because when you first arrived, she's like, "Do you want to see our dwarf? She's not here." And I was like, "No, I didn't, but I guess I'll investigate."
I
Sure,
guess.
why not? I guess.
Why not?
Yeah. That was
Yeah, no, that was that whole brothel situation was very interesting. The drow couple too, that was nice and weird. Everything about that was weird.
It was so
There was always
wildly
at least
uncomfortable
one
with that.
person in your group who's like, sounds like it could be a good time. I was like, man, they really want to. They want to make it okay in this space if you want to indulge.
Yeah.
Someone's here for it.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't
you
do
chose
it,
romance. Your person is gonna either be into it or be like, not for me, but have fun. Like, how
Yeah.
is everyone just chill?
Not everyone. I saw like clips of the different couple reactions. The one that killed me was Karlak, because like if you try and tease her about it and be like, "Oh, I forgot what it was, like sourpuss or something like that," she's like, "You fucking degenerate." I was like, "Yeah, she has very strong feelings about it," but I didn't see it. I just watched.
Karlak was my first run through, and she just said, "Have fun, soldier."
Really?
I was like,
Holy shit!
Wow.
I wasn't planning on, but I guess good to know where the boundaries are.
Oh,
It's
God.
basically like, yeah,
Oh,
if you
gosh.
want, fine, but don't drag me into it.
That's hilarious. I wonder if it has something to do with like whatever, talk line they went through, the options
yeah,
that they
maybe
had. So that is very funny.
Whereas the second time I had it was the Shadowheart run, and she was like, I mean, we got 20 minutes, right?
Oh my god. Yeah, that is
Oh,
very
That tracks.
But yeah,
100% tracks.
it did crack me up that fucking Raphael was hanging out in a brothel.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
I have this deal for you upstairs in the best room
Well,
here.
yeah, the room next door is Elminster's room, which I think they just named because apparently it was also where the dwarf bondage woman did her work. I was like, so is it just named after Elminster because it's a library theme, or is he just hanging out here sometime?
He hangs
Why
out
not
here
both?
so much we named it after him.
We named it after. He spends enough money. He's a VIP.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And then that one lady turns into a mind flayer if you hop in on the wrong room, and like
I did not go there the first game through. I was like, well, they said it's unavailable. I'm not like trying to be a thing, but the monk was my lockpick that time, so I didn't have whoever it was the first time. So it's like, oh, well, there's a locked door, and that offends me. So what's in here?
offends me. Yeah, that was very. And then like after you kill the mind flayer, the brothel lady was like clearly turned on by the mind flayer and is like, I'm gonna leave now. This is wild. You just watched what happened. All right, I'm out. You have a good day, ma'am. But that was very amusing.
I hear kink shaming.
I wasn't. I was like, that's for you. I'm gonna leave. I don't need to be here.
Oh, God. Yeah, the brothel was certainly a surprisingly important place.
It was so important.
It was.
Oh god. And
On
Holy
the
Fair-
Dark Herbs run, I didn't even interact with the brothel. I just
Okay.
went right through there.
Skip it all together. Yeah.
I didn't have anyone to point me in the direction.
Oh yeah, all your plot hooks for
All my
NPCs.
plot hooks didn't trigger because they were all dead.
All my
The
plot hooks
harbor
are
thing
unalived?
didn't trigger. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I was just, okay, Mind Flare, buddy, let's go.
Speaking of Mind Flayer, the Mind Flayer in the basement of that
Oh,
like
the windmill?
mill.
The windmill. That was cool.
Yeah,
'Cause you
that
walk
was
by
cool.
and you just hear
Yeah.
screaming and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah. Then you go down there and yeah, that was very cool.
How quickly they turned to cannibalism. The first is like, hey, we should go and do XYZ. You're like, nah, man, I'm not on your team. He's like, I'm gonna eat ya. You're like,
Yeah.
bro, you don't even have a shirt on.
Yeah, that's the first time. The second time, the monk was a lot less. He was more morally gray. So he's like, yeah, I just need to eat like brains. Like, I was like, I don't know what kind of brains. He's like, well, I mean, as long as they died recently. I was like, bro, I kill people all the time. Give me a minute.
You damn, I got you.
I like the glass armed, like, what kind of brains we talking?
After the next fight, I was like, all right, put you in my pocket and hello, enjoy.
Oh my
And I
God.
forget what I got out of it, but
That is very funny.
Besides somewhat graceful mind flayer and a grateful
Speaking
mind
of
flayer.
fucking shirtless mind flayers, though, I think it was Act 3 where I had the like triple whammy in a night when it was like Halsin, Mizora, and the Emperor in the same fucking night. I was like, I don't know what signals y'all got, but they're all wrong. And how did this happen to me in one fucking night? Jeez.
I haven't had Halson try anything. Mizora did in my second run through.
In my second run through, I didn't even talk to Mizora. I was like, you can sit there and rot. I know you're not going to leave my goddamn chat or camp, but I can't. I'm not talking to you. I feel like being sexually harassed in my own camp. Fuck off.
Technically, she teleports you to hell, so, you know, it's...
Yeah, but she's like openly like, I think you like me in the middle of camp. Like, girl, are you fucking get out? I ain't here for it. Fuck right off. And then Halson cracked me up because he was like, "You've been tending to me at this camp with the care of a lover, not a host." And I was like, "You're literally in the corner, next to like the sewage system,
like, way over there on the other side of that wooden barrier."
Exactly. You are so far away and secluded from everybody. Sure. You know what? I'm gonna leave too. This is too much. But, that was the funny thing I was talking to my friends about. I was like, as a lady, this is how you know it's a fantasy game. You can tell someone no, and then they treat you like a regular person after that, and it never comes up again. And I was like, this is the fantasy element of this whole game, because it never came up again. But that was very music when it had happened for me with him. And fucking the fucking Emperor scene though, because all the other scenes, I feel like you could back out of it real quick, and like the awkwardness is just in the words. But the Emperor is shirtless the whole time, so even if you're like Navi, he's like, cool, let's talk battle strats. Still shirtless.
Well, you're body shaming, kink shaming, and body shaming. Look, Halson never once gave me that dialogue, and how dare you turn down the strong arms?
A strong protecting arm.
I mean, they're not strong on paper, but
strength. Yeah, get the fuck out. All the women in the game are stronger than Halson, but he's the size of a house. Get out of here. It was very
it's all right. That's why I made my boy to represent beefy elves with some actual beef.
I think he did even have a dialogue thing where you could be like, "You're like big for an elf or something," and he's like, "I don't know what to tell you." That's just how I
get that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I get it.
But that'd be stupid.
Speaking of Elf Song Tavern, fucking Song of Baldur was in my head forever. Because it's apparently the only song the bard on staff knows.
Oh.
And
So, sorry, good.
No, it's a jam. It's just on a loop. Though listening to the lyrics, I was like, man, this has a lot of plot detail to this game. Am I crazy, or was it supposed to be a in-game bard situation? How did they know? I was like, this is just soundtrack. But
they've been following you. Did you know that you could spend the night at, I think it was Elf Song? Pretty sure it was Elf Song.
Yeah.
But you can like rest there. And they like basically have like the whole top floor for your team, so everyone's just like hanging out on the top floor or whatever, and you can long rest while you're there, and it's like, oh, interesting. But I thought because you paid for it that you wouldn't have to do the food thing, but you still have to do the food thing. So I was like, what's the point? You're just paying for a change in decor? I did it once, and I was like, nah, I ain't doing that.
I just did both. I just assumed, I was like, oh, this is where you stay because you're in Baldur's Gate. That makes sense. I see what you did there, developers.
No.
Were you just sleeping in a back alley in the second run, Foos?
I've been sleeping in the back alley the whole time. Which is why when Halson was laughing at or telling me I took care of him like a lover, I was like, sewer's right there. I can see the water running by. The river's over there, so it can't be that. No, we were camping every night.
God, it's rough. Roll with Foos, man. Bring a fucking sleeping bag. You ain't seen the sunny side of anything.
Absolutely not.
You know, we got 200,000 gold. Can't stay at Elf Song.
I did have a stupid amount of gold too. That's the best part.
You absolutely did. I mean, I guess you didn't have to hear the Song of Baldur as often as I did, so there's that.
No, I did not. Oh, God.
I know.
I only found out that you could sleep there on my second run anyway, and then after I did, I was like, nah. I did once, and then I was like, that's fine.
It's too much.
Well, this
It's
is
too
what
much.
camp was.
That's very
We've jumped back to Baldur's Gate. I guess there's the rock crossing place. I guess just before that, there's the Harpers that are in the basement and that aren't Harpers.
Yeah, that aren't
Yes.
Harpers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
That was
Harpers
interesting.
in the basement that aren't Harpers.
Like you go to meet the Harpers,
So
and
the
they're
arms dealer that
Yeah.
is that once you talk to him, if you bring
Jahira.
Jahira with you, it unlocks the back room.
Oh, yeah.
You go down the stairs and go,
Yep.
and then you find out none of all but one are working for Warren.
oh, you
That
know,
one
you-
guy is like, salute us tears. It's salute us tears. I forgot what it was. Like, he
Yeah,
kept
it
saying
sounds like that.
like that trigger
It's
word.
like
I
pineapple,
don't
pineapple,
remember.
pineapple.
Yeah.
just trying to warn you. No, I didn't bring Jahira because Jahira was way too late. I was like, even if I wanted to get your content, it's too late in the game for me to be switching up people's. This is ridiculous. So I was just like, yeah, no, Jahira sent me. Deal with it. He let me.
Yeah. If you just bring Jahira, she just automatically cuts through it all. And she goes, "Oh, it's you again. They're downstairs." And he closes the store, essentially, and you go downstairs.
Yeah, both times I had her, so I didn't know that, like, you could, I guess you'd have to kind of fight a little bit to get down there, but both times he was like, oh yeah, go downstairs. Also, Jahira, I hate your attitude. Like, they have a funny rapport together that I kind of enjoyed.
If I'm not crazy, there might have been a line like you're just like, yeah, Jahira sent me, or I'm a friend of Jahira's, and he was like, she has friends or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That feels right for that scene. I think it was from, like, in terms of transitioning from, like, outside of the city to inside of the city. The first time, I forgot how, but I did some fuckery and got in. And then the second time, I talked to, I think her name was, like, Valeria or whatever, the holy font, who was like, oh,
Yeah.
take this card and go investigate or whatever.
Yep.
So it was so much easier the second time because I was like, here's my pass, bye. The first time I was
You
like,
can also
we gotta
just jump past it.
yeah. Except I think you have to have a certain jump rating. And on
Yeah.
the first run, my strength is 8, so I'll not jump past nothing. Well, unless I have a potion or something, but I forgot
Yeah,
what
I
I
think
did. I
it's
had
like
to do
you
some
just
cool
need like
shit.
a 10 strength to jump onto that ledge on the right side. And then you can go up, unlock a portal, and say, okay, everyone teleport over.
Yeah, you could cheese it that way. I can't remember how I did it the first time, but I had to do some goofy shit. And I remember it was to the point where, like, if I went back to the beginning and tried to cross, that she was like, what the fuck? You can't cross, get out of here. And I was like, damn it. I guess I have to fast travel back. I can't just walk my way across the bridge. But the second time was so much easier because I got the pass or whatever.
Mhm.
But
I
as
guess
you're getting... Okay.
I guess technically here you still get down to the prison in this area of the game still.
Oh, yeah, because it's not far from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which I replayed Baldur's Gate 2. And, 1 and 2, and I played through that again since we've had our last session.
Okay.
And
All right.
Yeah.
I've been bored.
Oh.
So, also I know those games very well. It reminded me that you break out of that prison in that wall right there.
Well,
I'm like, damn, it's been that long and your asses still ain't fixed this hole?
Yeah.
It's been 100-some years and y'all can't fix this hole?
look, man,
Nobody
bricks is
fixed that
expensive.
hole.
Yeah.
The bricks are all right there, though.
Oh,
There's no
God.
excuse.
Also fair.
That is very funny, though.
I tried very hard to be like, yeah, your coronation, whatever. I got other shit to do, and the game's like, no, though, because it's important. And also, Missoura's here; she wants you to see it, and also like he's inviting you, and also this other thing. Fine.
He did some, like, brain thing to me, so I couldn't walk away, because I was like, nah, fuck off. And he was like, you should stay. And I'm like, no, fuck off. And I went to go turn, and then they were like, you feel immense, crazy pain. And then, like, at the end of that cutscene, the next one just starts. So, like, I tried my darndest to leave, and they were like, no, you have to stay. It's like, awesome. That was unfortunate, to say the least. I think the second time I had Karlak, and I had to talk her down, because I'm pretty sure she was about to tackle that man in the middle of
So-
everything.
Yeah.
Nope, that's Dark Urge version.
Mm-mm-mm.
Man, there's other things that happen there. It's a Dark Urge.
Oh boy.
I guess his entire interaction is also different. Um,
I imagine.
Well, yeah, because he hates.
Orin.
Ball hates what's his name? Right? Are we talking about the wrong?
Oh,
Cortash?
no. Cortash hates Orin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Orin. It's quite mutual.
I think it's quite mutual agreed. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, his whole interaction with you is different as well.
Yes.
It's like
that I can imagine. From the little details I know of the Dark Urge, it makes sense.
yeah.
That there would be a different situation there.
Well, this is also where you get like the best greatsword in the game, is in the prison. So in the prison, you like go to that entrance on the side. You walk down the hallway. You'll see two dragon lamps.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yep,
where you
yep,
get
yep,
to
yep.
answer.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you also get the helmet of Baldur on there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The giant slayer thing.
I feel like I got so much like either really good clothing armor or really good like plate armor, and a lot of the people I had I feel like were somewhere in between. So I was always like, great, the one person who could possibly use this, she's already pretty set. Because I had a set with Lae'zel that like I gave her the necklace of Constitution from Raphael's thing, and then she had like I forgot what it was, but like a ring that made it so that any healing she got was maxed. Her another helmet of regen, so she kept getting 4 hit points at the start of her turn, and then her sword healed over 6 times every time she hits anything. And I had her like hasted all the time, so she was swinging 6 times around, getting healed like all that. Yeah, so I was like, she's never dying. I just run in there. I never have to heal you. And at worst, you hit a potion, you get max healing, so she's fine. Just run in there and murder everybody.
At that point, so rewind back to
sorry, I derailed.
So you mentioned that mace. Yes, that was the mace of Yunogu's blessing or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
That you got back in Act 1.
Yeah. The mad one.
So the Dark Urge, I had that mace and I was messing people up. And when you get to the part with the silver shield guardian, whatever it was that that the Empress was with in the past. That's
Yeah.
All the words are missing me
We just
tonight.
evolved into like
The thing with the thing over there with the thing in place.
with the guy.
You got the stuff.
Yeah, so when I was going through there, Githyanki like to hold you, paralyze
yeah.
you. I immediately go mad. I'm like, well, this does nothing to me. I was already going to hit you.
Yeah.
I was solo, so it's a random creature. I'm like, okay.
Oh my god, I found a way to cheese all the Githyanki fights and possibly other fights that I found out by accident. But I found it out in Act 1. I think I might have mentioned it, but I found out that they don't really fuck around with darkness. So if you just drop darkness on yourself, they're like, well, shucks. I'm pretty sure someone's in there, but I can't do nothing about it. And you just pop out, attack them, and jump back into the darkness, and they're like, dang, that hurt. Next
You used
round,
to be
I'll
able to
get
do
him.
that if like, as a rogue, you came out of, did your sneak attack range, and then you immediately hide as your bonus action. All the NPCs just kind of stand there. And then you creep to your next target within range, you sneak attack, a bonus action hide, and they just stand there.
Who keeps stabbing me at the back?
These arrows really hurt. I'm stand right here.
Oh shit.
Oh god.
Not walk, not search, nothing.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, talking about like Orin's like victims and also kind of like the Orin stuff, because we did say like who was getting stolen. But in terms of the victims, I know as soon as I found the letter that was like, this guy killed, and then they were like, and you get to assume who the next target is. I remember I found that and I was like exhausted. Everyone was very tired. We had no spell slots left, and I was
my.
But I was worried that because we found the letter at that time, if I long rested, the next person would be dead. So I was like, I guess I'm going now. So we interrupted that, and thankfully it wasn't too bad because my marshals whooped his ass, and I was like, good job, guys. I'm just gonna fire bolts until this is over. But That thankfully kind of worked out. But do you know if you do rest, or if like a certain amount of time passes, does that next person get killed?
I would
On the
imagine
list?
not. I don't think I rushed right out to find the next person on the list. It's very logical to assume that there might be a next person on the list. I was like, yeah, all these people will die in whatever order. I'll deal with it. I didn't even think about it.
I don't
just,
know.
as I was walking around, went to the dots that were on my map.
I don't know if it's in any particular order. I think it's just the dots, and
Well, when you
walk
the
up
list,
to them,
Mhm.
it's like as you walk to that point, it triggers. So,
well, like on the list itself, like it goes in order. Like the first 5 are all killed. So like just using that as the
That makes sense.
template, I was like, next one is there. You know, they
Yeah.
didn't skip
Makes
any.
I
So
didn't even give him a
imagine it's
chance.
like-
As soon as I saw Psycho Dwarf Man killed his mom, I was like, okay, anybody who's in a hostage or anything, shit's real. We gotta go
I
through
didn't
this
know.
list
I
of
didn't know it
everyone
was
who's-
his mom. I didn't know it was a dwarf guy until I went and interrupted a dwarf guy. I was like, oh shit, okay, I guess it's him. I had no
Yes,
details
damn.
until I caught him in the act.
Oh my god.
That's
so you go to like those people as the Dark Urge, and you go up to them and go, "Hey, you're about to get murdered." You're like, "Oh no, by who? Me."
Yep, there it is. Oh my god. There was one that glitched on me in my second run, because in the first one I killed him as soon as I could. Like I interrupted the one, we attacked him and he fucked off, and then the second one we caught him trying to kill another dwarf. And then that fight saved. Oh my god, which reminds me, for the second one where you find him at the dwarf, I found a clip of, because there's an option where you can like stealth, I think, up to him in the middle of that cutscene. I just shouted at him and started the fight. But someone tried to stealth and they rolled a natural 1, and the animation is that you just fall over in the background while the
Oh
assassin
my.
kills him.
Oh my!
Like, he doesn't even acknowledge you, so like the character's just flopping around in the background and he just kills the guy, and then like by the time you stand up he's already dead. I was dying. Like, that's amazing.
I'm trying to think what I did first, but I think one of the first things I did in Baldur's Gate was the Wizard's Tower,
Oh, okay.
which was
Yeah.
interesting, except for the part where it cemented the fact that I don't remember her name because it isn't worth my time. The fucking, I'm the daughter of Saloon. Yeah, you'd suck.
Oh, Dame Aelin.
How about, can you go ask Mom if she could let you be a real demigod? Because until you are, please go home. Just anywhere else.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she got her ass whooped quite a bit in my game.
She missed a bunch, and/or the thing she did the best was cast Moonbeam on herself and then walk past me and hit me with Moonbeam.
Karen's frustration over this topic will never not be.
Ooh.
That's
She
not the
just-
kind of help you need, especially when you're fighting the big stuff she's usually
Look.
present for.
I want to go talk to what's her name, Isabella. But listen, these hoes ain't loyal, and this is unacceptable. Especially because at the end of that rather fucking time-consuming wizard fight, I finally got around it with a bunch of AOE shit, including Wall of Fire, and I had zero reason to drop Wall of Fire. I didn't think I should dismiss that. And then the fight ends.
Oh yeah.
Cutscene. She gets healed in the Wall of Fire, and then goes, "How dare you strike a paladin of whoever?" I was like, fine, I guess I'll redo this fight because you are extra the worst.
That is absolutely one of my biggest pet peeves. Is like when a fight ends and you get stuck in a cutscene and you can't cancel your concentration spells or whatever, and then like an NPC runs through it and you're like, "Why am I in combat?" And then like the best, it's like I'm sorry, NPC number 5. You saw the firewall and you decided to walk through it. You couldn't just wait.
Oh, yeah.
Like I get that I'm locked in this, but can you not path your stupid ass through the goddamn firewall?
It's
Oh
too
my
much.
God,
It's too
so-
much.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where like I know if I'm close to the final like last hit or whatever, and I imagine I'm gonna talk to somebody that I'm like, let's go through the casters and cancel all the concentrations, and then
No.
kill this person and go from
The
there.
second run through, I didn't like the first time. I was like, it said, "Yeah, go tell her what's going on." So I did, and then she helped me with the fight. The second time, I was like, "Yeah, go tell her what's going on." No, I'm just gonna kill this bitch. I'll let her know later. So then I went back to camp that night. Oh, by the way, this dude definitely wanted to trap you for immortality. Oh, we should kill him. Oh, no. I did that. You have no part in this play.
I need you here, being dead weight.
Come on in.
That's amazing.
Water's fine.
Awful. Much
going-
more fun was the basement of the Wizard's Tower.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hell yeah.
All
Oh
sorts
my
of
god.
invisible walls and
My
nonsense.
stupid ass. Second time when I went through the first time, fucking perfect run. I was like, okay, we finished all these things. I didn't set off a single trap. Flawless. Second one, I went in with like full confidence because I was like, I know this shit. Totally forgot to put on C and Viz, and I was like, how did I get rid of these barriers? I don't remember how I did this. That's like full racking my brain, and then at one point, I was like, I'm just gonna hit this potion and just see what. God damn it. The second time I didn't bother reading or like taking my time through anything because I was like, I know. Let's go. Just let me get my shit and get the fuck out. And yeah, nope.
I went through and opened a bunch of locks and got the books, and then I found the levers that unlock the things to get the books. It's like, oh, you were okay. Or I might have used knock. I don't remember what I did, but all I remember was going, oh, so this lever just does nothing now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Nice.
That
It was a fun puzzly area. I very much enjoyed. I almost missed the genie down there.
Oh, yeah.
And God, just I sat there for like a full minute. I was like, "You bitch!" But I just got put into a lamp.
Amazing.
Oh god. Yeah, that tower thing was fun.
I was mad the second run through because the first time I was like, you don't get to put me in lamps. Die. The second time I was like, nah, I get it. Like you wanted to be free, and I figured it out, so it's whatever. And I want him to be like, cool, you get a wish or something, or have this cool item, because we're both out and you didn't murder me. Isn't that nice?
Nope.
That's not how that story ends, Joe.
Should have.
It should have. Nope. The other thing that going back to sort of like the Orin storyline, because I feel like she captured someone. I mean, I guess it's triggered by where you go, because like the sewers and all that. But I triggered it real quick in my first playthrough, and in my second one, I was like, "Isn't she supposed to take somebody?" I don't remember when this is supposed to happen. But when she took Gale my second time, and I was like, you know what, you were next to my agenda anyway, so I'll go take care of you real quick. And I didn't notice this the first time I played because I didn't pay any attention, but like this is after you kill Orin or whatever. We'll talk about the Orin fight in a bit, but I just want to mention it before I forget. Is that you find the Dark Urge's body in her room, and yes. I remember she like your character says something, and in the first playthrough I was like, oh okay, so. And then the second playthrough I was like, oh shit, that's him. Oh, he naked and he's super dead. Oh,
he's laid the fuck out.
He's got him fucking dead.
She got him good.
Did not even catch that.
But when you walk by it, your character says something like she took a special like joy in torturing this one or something.
Yeah.
But I remember when it first happened, I was like, okay. That second run, I was like, wait a minute. I like zoomed in and everything. Because the default Dark Urge is that like white dragonborn with like the red and whatever. So I recognized that, yeah.
Well, what did you guys do with Savarok? Speaking of
with who? Oh, Savarok, super dead.
Yep.
Super dead.
Who's
this?
Like the OG villain from the first two games, the big old helmet. He's sitting on the throne with his like leg daughters.
Well, he showed up, and then I said some of the right things, and it got to the point where he's just like, "Yeah, you have to die now." I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm pretty sure he started it. I finished it, but he started it.
Okay, so he's on Team Super Dead. All right, so everyone killed him. Good job, boys.
Super Dead. Did you not kill him?
No, I killed him.
So like,
okay.
As the Dark Urge, he was like trying to talk shit about like, okay, now you have to listen to me and stuff, and I'm like, fuck you, bitch, die.
He had an armor or weapon that was decent, or a helmet, something. He had something good.
He had the weapon that healed that I gave to Lae'zel, and that she turned into the healing machine. But he had something else on him that was like pretty decent. I remember like the three ladies gave him different buffs if you killed them. That was, I feel like it was trying to deter you from killing them initially. I murdered all of them immediately, and then I was like, "Oh, your AC is 27 now. That's fine. It's not a big deal. We got you."
Yep. I have a nasty habit of killing the women first in video games. So I wasn't about to break that tradition. Well, first off, I know who this guy is since I played the first 2 games. And I'm like, oh shit. But first off, you look great in like modern graphics.
Yeah.
Second, what are you doing here? Third, there's no way I'm actually talking to you. Time to die. Your bitch is first though. Oh, that's just oh, this is all right, boys.
See, I feel like I killed one of them right away, and I didn't put together that they were buffing him with that until like right at the end. I was like, oh, well, this worked out because I killed one, and the other one's like, you barely are impacting it. You stay over there, I guess. Enjoy not mattering.
Oh, they kept counterspelling me, and they're like, after the first counterspell, I was like, nope, you're dead. I don't give a shit. Coming
I
for
feel
you
like I
first,
only in either run, the only time anybody ever got counterspelled was at the fight in Act 2 with when you go to get Ketheric.
Oh,
I feel like I barely ever encountered counterspell, and I certainly didn't pack it, so it was just non-existent in my game.
Oh, lots of counterspells in my game. I mean, I usually ran with 2 marshals and then 1 full caster and then 1 like kind of half caster. So I think maybe I had more opportunities to be counterspelled, so maybe that's why I felt like I encountered it more often. But the second one of them did any, I was like, you're dead, absolutely.
Now here's a question that I assume the answer is yes. You could counter a scroll, right? The scroll just lets you cast a spell.
Yeah, you can get counterspelled with a scroll.
Okay, because that's most of what Gale did was scrolls and basically never got counterspelled. And then Shadowheart was just healing, and then it was me and a barbarian beating things to death, and you can't counterspell that.
Yeah, exactly. That must be nice. No, it was great. Go ahead, Dennis.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say the scroll economy at the end of the game, man. I was like, I have too many scroll. I'll just throw them. I don't even cast them. Just throw it at them.
Yeah.
Gotta do something there.
30,000 speaks with deads, and I was like, you give me like 7 different magic items who can do that naturally. I'm pretty sure there's a potion that I also get, and 900 scrolls. I'm good. I don't need these anymore. Just
The game wanted me to talk to corpses, and I said, yeah, I have better things to do with my day. You can fuck right off with all of that. You know what I'd love? Some of them good scrolls that I get like 1 or 2 of ever. How about them?
Yup.
Yeah.
You do get a bunch at the Wizard's Tower.
Yeah,
Some real fucking good ones too.
Yeah.
If you're a wizard, that's a happy time.
No, it was
Oh, it sure is.
much sadder the second run. I was like, oh, Gale, you're not here to learn all these spells and have them all the time. I have them once.
Although it does make me sad that like that sick ass wizard robe just makes you look homeless. Like I dyed it to try and make it look a little better because initially it was on Gale and I was like, Gale, you look homeless. That's fine. I'm not that upset. But the second time it was me wearing it. I'm like, I don't want to be homeless. This is horrible. I look terrible. It's fine. It's fine. Look like a G in my brain.
That Orm fight and mechanic I thought was cool. The unstoppable
like
thing.
the unstoppable.
The unstoppable stack, and then the creature that she turned into.
That's the Slayer.
Yeah. I thought all of that was really cool.
You get to be the Slayer in Dark Urge.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Good
That is
Careful
crazy.
with the spoilers. Some people want to play it.
But this is for us individually. I was like,
Dark
stream.
Urge.
No. Yeah, for the Dark Urge spoilers specifically, because some people have played the game already, but they plan on doing Dark Urge, and they might not know those things yet. But yeah, for everything else, obviously, they're good.
But yeah,
I feel like after the shift, it was an easier fight for me.
It was super easy for me in general because as soon
hard.
as she put the like unstoppable up to 10, I was like, magic level 6, la 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 la. Then after that, I'm gonna get that same spell slot back. I'm hasted and use that crazy, what was it, like Curriculum of War or whatever that fucking spell was, which was like magic missile on crack. So yeah, she was up for like a round and a half, and then after that, I was like, oh yeah, all these guys are sanctuary, and I'll just AoE you guys to death. So that fight I felt like was very anticlimactic for my current build at the time. So I was like, oh, we're good. You are not a concern for me.
Super worked out because I had done the Necromancy of Thay stuff already. So Gale was like, oh, I just have this like free raise a bunch of ghouls.
Yeah.
They'll hit a whole bunch of times to get rid of that unstoppable bullshit for you. Hey, great.
Yeah. Exactly. It was awesome. It was very, very cool. I did like the ambiance going in there because you have to go through that like under like that sewer thing, which also talking to that door cracked me the fuck up because they were like, you have to be worthy or whatever. Like, how are you worthy? And I was like, I killed Savarok, and they were like, unorthodox. Proceed. I was like, thanks. Like,
That
oh,
murder
God.
row bullshit. I missed a key detail that a dude was just gonna power word kill everybody.
Oh yeah.
So I was just fighting some dudes for a minute, and then it's like, yeah, 3 turns left. Till what? Oh, I gotta move.
This changes everything. Yeah, no. I think I disintegrated him from a distance, and then after that, I was like, he's fine. We don't have to worry about him no more. And then went on from there. But that was, yeah, getting into it was super cool.
That was
and then
fun.
I was kind of annoyed at all the other, like, Orion followers and whatever that were down there, and they were all like sanctuary and talking shit. And I was like, I'll kill every one of you right now, but I gotta go kill her first, and I'll come back for you. Can't sit here and talk shit. I'm gonna fuck you up. Get out of here.
I probably should have because they were all ball cultists, but I killed her and they were all just chilling. I was like, eh. Bye.
Just these casual murderers hanging out, you know.
That's fine.
Got murder casual. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe
So
they
did
were
everyone
doppelgangers,
kill-
but you got no proof.
Did everyone kill Orin first and then Gortash?
Yes.
Nope.
Okay, yeah, I did too. I was like,
Specifically because
okay.
she kidnapped somebody. So it's like, okay, you've decided the order in which you two die.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm not in a
yeah,
hurry
yeah.
for Lae'zel, but that's more
Yeah.
important than Gortash.
Yeah.
Uh, no, that's spoilers.
yeah.
I was very irritated with Gortash's fight because I got up and kicked his ass and won. It's like, yeah, the fight's not over. I'm sorry, those civilians down on the first floor, I got to spend turn-based time movement to go all the way back to floor 1. I didn't bother with them. They were just people.
In Gortash? Oh!
Yeah, there's 2
Like the
civilians in my.
fist?
No, there's one like his right hand man. You actually read about it in like his novel and in his journals. Like one dude is like his right hand man, so he's down to swing. And then there was some
There were
other
like
dude.
6 just random Lord people dudes. They were like, we're
Oh, I
hostile
don't-
now.
Maybe
I was
he
like,
just pissed
okay,
him
you've
off.
been mind controlled or whatever, and you'll die in one hit. You don't matter. Bye.
I mean, I also killed
Ah.
my whole way up, though. So.
Yeah, there were plenty of steel watches and all things, but
I walked in.
Okay, I also killed him after I took care of all the steel watch things, so there were no guards.
there might not have
that were
been.
up, and
I would have blown that up first. So maybe it was just there was definitely somebody to fight. There were like actual enemies and all the traps.
The traps, because you can blow up the traps too on the way in.
Oh,
I tried not to
disarmed all
fight.
of them. Sorry, good.
You disarmed them.
I disarmed all of them before the fight started because I was like, I don't know what these are, but Lae'zel, get to work, girl. And I'm like, they all had a fucking DC of 10, so she was just fucking getting all. I didn't know what they were, but I was like, let's just get rid of those. And then during the
Nah.
fight, I got that achievement where they're like fancy feet, which means you never got hit by his traps. And I was like, there are
Mhm.
traps in this room. I didn't know.
Yeah,
Oh, a lot of them.
he walked me past it.
There you go.
All the way
Oh,
up to
God.
that final fight area. At which point I didn't have to worry about traps.
Then everything was fine. The first time I fought him, I autos irresistible dance him, and that was before the patch fixed it. So he could not break out for the full 10 rounds. So we killed everybody in the room and then beat his ass while he danced.
Brutal.
Yeah, it was.
Dang.
It was not too bad. That's why when I got the achievement and everything, I was like, was it for the dancing or the traps? What traps? Wait, what? Like, all right, it's
Oh,
fine.
all the
Moving
traps.
on.
Not only were there all the traps, but when you fight your way up 2 levels of building and then kill Gortash, it's like, yeah, the fight's not over. And you turn-based time your way back down, which involves
Downstairs.
moving crates because ladders got blown up on your way up. The traps are still there. So you have to go through all the traps to go find the civilians who didn't deserve to be dead, but fine. I was so mad.
Oh.
But now you're definitely gonna be dead because all the work I had to do to come down here and talk to you.
I'll kill the shit out of them.
No doubt.
It was so weird because then immediately it triggered a cutscene back on the top floor where Karlak did her bit about killing Gortash. I was like, I just teleported up 2 flights.
Yep.
Okay.
If only we could have done that mid-combat, so we could have taken care of this travel issue. Jeez. But speaking of Gortash's storyline and such, because it sounds like a decent amount of us took care of the Steel Watch and all that. The submarine thing, what's that place called? Iron Throne.
Yep.
Yep.
The first time I ran into that, I did not notice that the hostages were like on the mini map and marked. So initially, I was like, I got everyone, right? And then when I was hopping on and they said like, oh, you got most of them. I was like, who the fuck do you mean most? So I like reloaded and looked at the map and I was like, oh, there's 2 people in the fucking room that I hopped in that I didn't bother to look at. They were there. I was like, I'll go get them. Sorry about that. Let me fix this real quick.
The order I chose to do things in, because I was rescuing hostages and stuff, and then what's his name? The friendly mind flayer is also there. Yeah. I got him, I think, last on my like loop of getting people. I split the party. I was like, we're gonna go deal with a couple of these things at once. And he was like, yeah, I just have this dope ability that says teleport me and one other guy right there. I was like,
Yep.
I could be using you this whole time to just get work done. Because it made sure I got everybody out. Because the last 3 rounds, I was like, yeah, run down, grab a dude, teleport.
Yeah. I did not know that the first time I got him. So I was like, we gotta run real far on Mellum. There's a lot of hooligans in the way. We gonna stab our way out. Get behind me, baby. Like, we ran our way out. Thankfully, we had enough time. But it was literally when I got him to the ladder that I was like, oh, what's this? Fucking goddamn. I just teleported my ass back. Shit. It was so fun.
My first
okay, good. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but the first time I went down there, it was kind of like cinematic because I had multi-classed Will into Paladin, and I sent him down one way. Found his dad. His dad needed a heal, and he healed. And I'm like, man, this is like just writing itself. It's like, yeah. Fucking Wilbur as Paladin. This is dope. But yeah, that fight was fun. I loved like the creativity they had with like a lot of their encounters. And I think in Act 3 you really see it get dialed up a notch. There's a sense of urgency and creativity that's needed in like such a condensed time frame.
Adding a win condition other than all bad guys is dead is always cool
great
to see. It was also fun for me because my first run was not a Will run, and I don't switch people in and out of my party. So it was just, oh shit, your Will's dead. And we get back. Then he goes, oh shit, you saved my dad? Yeah, I totally did. You should have seen it. We were all super heroic.
He's gonna give us medals later.
It's just so rude to these guys. It's amazing. Yeah, no, both times I had Will. And I wanted to see it both ways. So one time I tried it after we made the deal with Missoura to like save the dad or whatever, and she winds up like hasting and sanctuarying him or something. So the dad just like fucking runs. He makes it there in 1 turn with her buffs. And then the other time I was like, fuck you, lady. And the spiders came out or whatever that were like super explosive or whatever. I think she like commands him to not move or something so that they can all like blow up on him. But at the time, my wizard was very, very close by, so I think he just like fireballed all the spiders and they just exploded on themselves. I was like, great, don't worry about it. Now get your weak ass on the fucking boat or the submarine.
Go.
No, I was a Paladin Ranger mix, and I love Horde Breaker. That's what I went with. So it was just like, oh, these are pretty weak spiders. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna Horde Breaker you, and then I'm gonna hit you. That's half of them. All right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Making some headway.
Not a big deal. On the first time I did it, I think I made it to the turn. I think there's like 6 turns or something, and I made like 6th turn. Last person coming up was the last person getting on the submarine. Both times I did save everybody, but the first time took me like a few tries to get it right. And the second time, because I knew what the fuck was going on, we were fucking armed to the teeth. And on Tactician, I think they get rid of a round or so, because I think it was 5 turns instead. But we made it, and we were all good. But everyone was like long stridered. Everybody had flight, and almost everybody had some kind of like haste bonus or whatever. So everyone made it to like the far corners of wherever they needed to in the first round. And I was like, we're good. We could just dick around and do whatever we need to after this. So we did. I was just like doing everything I could, fighting some guys just because I was bored, and then we hopped on the submarine. Everyone was fine. I did notice, if you try to, I mean, for me, this is what happened to me at least. If the gnomes are taking too long and you throw them, they get confused after you throw them and they don't run to the ladder. They seem to run in the opposite. Like they run up to the ladder and they make a 90-degree turn and run away from it. So if you ever do this and you want to throw them, don't do it. It glitches them out. Just let their stupid asses run to the ladder.
Oh my.
that was my experience there. But that was so cool. I love that encounter so much.
Is the blinded Gondian is in the factory, right? Not
He's in the factory.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
I feel like one of the two times I didn't get everybody out, and I'm pretty sure he specifically asked for one of the names. Like he
the
specifically
daughter.
said, "Is my daughter okay?" And I'm pretty sure she
Yeah.
wasn't. I was like, "Yep." Bitch can't see. I got work to do.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh,
I needed it
Smile
to just
hands
on the
on his-
thing.
Look at the smile on his face. He's so proud of himself.
I
It
just
was
like
the-
this.
it
She's
was the
saying,
way.
"Oh yeah, so safe."
Totally sure.
Amazing. And then
I
like
think
the
a few
second
people
you
more safe.
I know, like, also just kind of at the end of this, if anyone wants to say anything more about it, please let me know. But after this, you go to the Steel Watch, obviously, and handle that factory or whatever, especially now that, like, they're safe and blah, blah, blah. But when I finished with that, I popped out, what's his name's there? Wolbrin, who's immediately like, "You didn't blow them up! How fucking dare you, you bitch-ass bitch!" And I was like, "Alright, man, you're fucking pissing me off." So I made, what's his name? Barkus? Is it Barkus? Brackus? What's his name?
One of those.
Brachus, 2 C's. You care.
Brackus. no, that's from Divinity.
Yep.
But I had him take over, and Wilburn was like, "The fucking next time I see you, you better watch the fuck out." And I was like, "All right, cool." So the conversation ended, and then I talked to Wilburn again, and he was like, "I'll never forget what you've done. Thank you so much. At the end of the fight, I'm gonna be there for you, buddy." I was like, "What happened?" What just
Yeah, I
happened
missed
right
it.
now?
I don't remember talking to them after I did. Maybe I did. It's been a minute. I don't feel like I had any upset gnomes at the end. I definitely
The
didn't blow up the
second I-
factory.
A second I got out of the factory, he was right there.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe
He
just
was
don't
kind of
remember.
mad. He was more like, somewhat disappointed because I never took the bomb from him.
Oh, he was pissed. Yeah, same. Yeah.
So I think he knew I wasn't gonna be blowing that shit up anyway. But he was upset. But it was one of those like, I would have done it differently. And then like,
Okay. Also, because I was curious, I tried with the bomb the second time. If you ever try it, let me just tell you, you need to have it in your inventory of the person who's interacting with the shit. Because I spent 10 minutes throwing this bomb all over the room and trying to detonate it. Nothing happened. like the bomb would go off and then my quest would update it and be like, we can't use the bomb anymore. We have to find another way. And I'm like, what do you mean? I just used the bomb. I just threw it on that thing and nothing happened. So, and I had it in someone else's inventory because I'm a fucking wizard with 8 strength. That thing weighs 40 pounds. I can't carry it around. So I realized that it has to be on whoever's interacting with that like panel or whatever. And then once you do, then they'll be like, use the bomb, and then it works. So if you ever try it, make sure it's on the correct character before you do.
The second time I definitely didn't care, but I'm pretty sure the first time I gave up real quick on saving all them Gondians. I was like, whoever lives, lives.
Dude,
This is ridiculous.
never reloaded so many fights in my CRPG career, man. That was
Career. Yeah.
dude. I play a lot.
Yeah. No, fully.
And that like that was just it. One would trip and then get fucking smashed by the steel, whatever. The other guy would just literally run past and get opportunity attacked by every person on that side of the screen. And you're just like, how the fuck? I thought you guys were smart. Why?
I saved the first floor. The first floor was
Yeah,
savable.
first floor you can do.
Yeah.
Second floor, I gave up. It was like
Second
7
floor-
or 8 tries, and I was like, "You're done. I don't care anymore."
Second floor, especially because like they're already in combat and they're already surrounded and they're already spread out. So it's like this is the worst situation you could run into. Because at least
Yep.
on the first floor, it's like everyone's kind of in the same spot. You're getting into it too. It's not too bad. Yeah, second floor is rough.
And then you can't kill the steel watchers fast because they detonate, and all those motherfuckers are not gonna move out of the way. And oh my god.
Oh yeah, the Steel Watchers. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta call a pre-corpse what it is and just let it.
I agree.
let it happen.
I agree. Yep. Enjoy what moments you have left.
You mentioned he's like at the end fight. I got you. Dark Urge run. I did not know you could call in allies on that final fight because there were none.
None? Not one?
None. No.
Wow.
Honestly, there might not. There may as well not have been half of them because I thought there was going to be more to the end sequences. So I called in one person, I think, in that like first fight, And then they're like, yeah, you can call me in the next fight if you need to. It's like, all right. And then I was like, oh shit, we're there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Here we
I
are.
didn't use
Yeah.
anybody. Should I have just spammed all of them? My bad.
I was so conservative in the first time I went because I didn't know how long it was gonna last and whatever was going on. So I think I called like three groups max for like the whole situation. The second time I was like, fuck it, just call everybody. I want to see what happens.
I mean, I did in like the final fight where a dragon shows up. I was like, well, I got this fucking wizard cannon. Let's use that.
Oh, so, okay. Actually, before we get to the final fight,
I mean, we got a
House of
lot
Hope.
we haven't covered.
House of Hope.
House of Hope.
Oh,
I loved it.
amazing.
Oh my god, best! I think that was the best fight ever.
also like, but the atmosphere of being there and like knowing. Oh, yeah, what's up?
Who lost hope? On the bridge or on the gantry towards the middle place?
When you Nenners described this situation from a very anonymous like standpoint because he's like, I don't want to spoil this for you, but I want you to know that we had to escort somebody and everybody was Gucci. We were good. People were getting hit, but nobody's failing saves and stuff. We're all staying. And suddenly I'm running and someone got hit and I just watched my escort fly off the edge of the bridge. Like I was dying, but I could not figure out.
It
what
was
you
one
were
of those
talking about.
stupid arrows that like detonates and like force pushes people around. And she of course fails the fucking save, but then I had like a reaction to it. So I see her body like full horizontal, clear over the edge. Just pause there, and I'm like, well, whatever I do is not going to stop that.
Oh my god! You had me dying because it happened to me in an Eldritch Blast instead. She got Eldritch Blast. They had the repelling blast, so they blasted her off once. But I had so many saves that I was like, oh okay, I'll take care of that this time.
No, never had an issue with that. I mean, the House of Hope, but honestly, it felt like it was a little too doable because I was running past all these people, and then I was like, wait a minute. And I stopped running, killed everybody, went back to the bedroom. It's like, yeah, the full heal just fucking works still.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
And then I was like, oh, I'm going to be in a much better position in a second because running through was a bitch.
But yes, the House of Hope, like as a the fight, it's the best fight.
Lives, all mortal lives.
I was telling Nenners, I had to stop and just listen to the song.
Oh,
because,
absolutely.
Because we all rolled shit for our initiative, so a lot of people took damage the first time I was there. So by the time it was our turn, I was like, all right, we got to fucking 5D chest this bitch. We're wildly outnumbered. The song's amazing. Focus. What spell am I gonna use? That was an incredible. Is that another lady singing with it? That's amazing. So like, and then eventually I was like,
is that him singing?
I'm just gonna like stop and listen. Like I literally just did not take my turn and listen to the song all the way through, and then finally went there because I was like, I can't.
It
focus.
deserves it. The second the fight started, it's like, hold up. This is the first and only time that a fight gets its own goddamn soundtrack. Incredible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like, how many big boss fights have you played in D&D where the big boss dude does a monologue? He just sings his own damn song.
Oh, it was so good. I was telling Nenners, we trounced him, and I didn't know he had a second form. I was like, I didn't take down the pillars or know he had a second form because we just played t-ball with him and he died real quick. So I didn't have any kind of issues with that. But the second time around, I was like, oh, that's the form. Fascinating. Got it. That was really, really cool.
The second time through, it was a much better fight because I was a monk who did bludgeoning damage. The first time I was like, "Hui, these pillars are immune to all of the things. There's one thing and I don't have it. Okay, what do we do?"
And then you get the gloves to do it.
Oh, I mean, those gloves, game changer.
Ooh.
That fight, I'm pretty sure I took his armor, his gloves, and I think the Constitution medallion. I was like, "Monk, go."
Oh yeah.
No, because I still had the monk key point amulet, but I feel like there was at least one other thing, but it's just fucking, it's kitted out after that fight.
It's bananas, yeah, for sure. Oh my god, I do remember. I was talking to Nenners about how he got there, because I think I found like a letter that talked about how Gortash got to that place, blah blah blah. So I like found it through all of this like detective work, and then it was just like, nah man, I just went in there, I found all for shit. I went upstairs and didn't have the instructions and just threw incense on the floor for minutes.
No.
God, it was funny too because she wanted the gloves of whatever your strength is a million,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's a good item. Yeah, fine, you can have it. And spent the whole fight going, maybe I'll keep it, maybe I'll deal with those consequences. And at the end, I was like, you can have it. And then I went to buy something. Like, oh, they're like 800 gold. This was the right choice. Thank you.
Oh, God. I actually pickpocketed it off of her because I was like, you're not a terribly wonderful person, and I did finish my end of the deal. My quest log is done, so I will take those back. Thank you.
You don't fuck over Mammon. I wasn't about to. I'll pay the price. But she was gonna charge you 20 grand to get in, and then instead she was like, yeah, you can have it for an 800 gold item. All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
No big deal.
God, I love that fight. That fight was so cool.
So good.
The whole place was super
Demons
cool.
coming in,
Oh, yeah.
like Hope being like, and then Hope being the unstable ally that she was, because she's like, okay, we're in the shit. This dude is clearly in for blood. I don't know if I can rely on you. Can't even string together a sentence.
Every conversation with her was so much fun.
It was.
Yeah.
She was great.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And just how
So
sadistic he
cool.
was, and like the.
I
Yeah.
killed her sister first, by the way. So I was like, you bitch! You get out of here. I was so mad at her. Also, did you see her sneaking up on you on various parts in Act 3?
Yeah.
Because what's her name? The sister, I don't remember her name, but like, there was one time she was like stealth behind like a wheelbarrow, and I was like, hey, what you doing? And like, as I leaned over, she like poofed away, and I was like, no, I saw you. You're trying to be all stealthy and shit, and I saw your dwarf ass behind that fucking. but she pops up in a few other places and is just like staring. I think I found her in Act 2 as well.
I feel
That's
like
super
shit.
true. I caught her sneaking twice, and the third time, instead of walking over to her, I just clicked the attack button and then clicked on her, and it swings to attack, and then she just poofed. I'm like, oh,
She
that's
poofed,
fucking
yeah.
boring.
Yeah, she poofed on me too, yeah. Also,
I feel
Dubs
like the
found out
second one
that
too, I
if you
met her
hold
once.
control and click, that's your auto attack, by the way. So you don't have to like click nothing if you just hold down control. Because that's how we found out how to speed run across things, because you run faster. Can you hear him laughing in the
Those in the background.
no, I've been using that tip.
Yeah. Joe's been using your tip, Dubs.
I mean, I wish I'd gotten the whole thing about control click the first time because I was still
Yeah,
doing it the
control.
slow way. But
Yeah, no, control click.
That's turbo right there.
That's turbo.
It's turbo right there.
It is. We were playing and I was just watching his barbarian whiz by me with his sword. There he goes.
it was very fun because I was doing the monk run, so he's just like, just whining, just ready to go.
That's amazing. Oh my god. But yes, House of Hope is fucking incredible. And also, like, just even before you get into the fights, when you first arrive, it felt so tense because it was like, you're not supposed to be here. You better hurry the fuck up. And I'm like talking to everything, but I'm like, I want to see all the things. And this is fucking, I don't know when he's coming home and how that's even going to look.
You got to like that mirror portal room, and there's part of me that's like, man,
I want to jump in.
I want to go to all these places and see content, but I also
Yeah.
there's a lot in this act. I need this to not be accessible, please.
Yeah. It's not. I did like I
Yeah,
clicked
yeah.
each one of them and they were like, "Hey, this connects to this and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool." But
They,
uh,
the beauty of that whole encounter, I thought, was the idea of like you're sneaking around, you're breaking the rules of a devil. Like it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just like, oh, I'm doing it of some like crazy authoritarian. It's like this guy lives and dies by it. He even says it in his song. You know what I mean? Like, it's so good, so
Yeah.
good.
fucking.
I like how matters. I like how your food trays are not affected by the green screen.
Oh yeah, the food.
It matches my skin tone.
There you go.
Oh, there they go.
Yep, that worked. No, that was.
I
was
forget
such
if
a
I ever
good
remembered
highlight.
to check, but I was like, can I just use these full heal baths anytime I want? Because I'll just never long rest again, I suppose. But I think
Yeah.
they weren't working after you killed Raphael.
Exactly. After you kill them, you can't go back. And I was like, ah, come on! But all right. But it's no big deal. But,
Oh, did you guys get what's his name to help you? The big,
Oh, the big demon?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's pretty
Oh.
much useless, but it was
Accurate.
good moral support.
The first time I did not, because I didn't even have the option. So we just fought him immediately. And yeah, so for the second time I did, and the second time I had my wizard proficient in persuasion or whatever, so I was like, this is actually doable. This is actually doable for me now. But the first time, my charisma was garbage. Also, both times I encountered him, in the second act, I never had any dialogue with him. I always like stumbled into the room and then combat just started immediately. So when he popped up in the Raphael fight the first time, I was like, who is this man? He said we fought and I'm a worthy opponent, which is true, but who is this man? I don't know.
I loved that particular dialogue. The first time he's like, yeah, they were able to defeat me, a worthy foe. I was like, dude, I convinced you to stab yourself. Like, you don't know shit about if I'm a good fight. I am, but you don't know.
Oh gosh.
The second time I knew he was coming, so I sneaked up right behind him and then waited for the fight to start.
Oh my god, I still don't know what that dialogue is. I know there is one, but I haven't seen it. So maybe in a future run I'll have to encounter it for whatever it might be. But what a fucking highlight for something that's optional. Like, holy shit, dude.
Yep.
Like, oh, God. I remember when I came out of that, I was so hyped. I feel like that's why Act 3 was so memorable. I feel like there were so many moments where I walked out of them and I was like, that was amazing. Like Iron Throne, I was like so impressed with, and then this obviously, so like, god damn, this is incredible.
I mean, super irritating fight, but it's not House of Grief, is it? Shadowheart's place?
I think it is the House of Grief,
like
isn't
that.
it?
Also,
But man,
You're right.
it's
Yeah.
fucking terrible initiative, and a bunch of asshats been like, darkness, darkness, darkness. Also, if you're in the darkness, it hurts. And also this other bullshit thing. And I was late enough in the game that I was generally good at remembering to click on people that hit examine, so I didn't get surprised by fuck you mechanics that they do nothing to explain. I was like, oh, so radiant damage will get reflected back like threefold. That's okay. I'm not a paladin or anything. That's not a problem. I'll find out. I'll do something else.
I don't.
No worries.
I don't automatically do radiant damage. That's okay.
Oh, that was a fight to figure out for sure.
Yeah. Both times I had evocation wizards, and I was like, I'll kill us both. I'll drop fireballs at my feet. I don't give a shit. So, because we don't take damage. So I was like, oh no, there's 35 people in a room. Poor me. So like, both times it was not a problem for me at all. But I was talking to Nenners about the ending of that fight that cracked me up, because the House of Grief lady, matron or whatever, I think she turned into like a beast or something. I don't remember what it was. But she tried to run up on us, and I had the Thay ghouls out at the time, and they all attacked her because she was like running by them. And that, like, one of their claws has like a paralyzed possibility, but the DC is 5. It's like, it's nothing. It's very easy to pass, which is fine. But she ran past, got crit by 2 of them, and failed the first one. And then after that, it was just crit city, and she got paralyzed next to Hasted Lae'zel. So I was like, this is the last round you're alive. So that's bye-bye.
That's game over.
That's
Thanks
rough,
for playing.
yeah. Oh yeah. So that was
I feel like she just
very
died. I don't remember like a second form. She was a bitch because I was like, what do I do that isn't smites? But
yeah. How do I kill if not smite? Well, that was and then I was talking about how you didn't have Shadow Heart, so for the part where you found the parents, like, you couldn't do anything there.
Couldn't
right?
do anything.
Like,
They're just like,
yeah.
I'm like, I would like to help you. I just murdered 70 people, but I can't get you down from wherever you are.
Yeah.
I can literally pile the bodies up to unhook you, but I can't.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I anything having to do with Shadowheart on the third act, I just missed. I pretty much obviously figured out that was her parents, and there was obviously some storyline thing there. But I was more excited because if you played Baldur's Gate 2, that lady was one of your party members from back in the day. So you're like, yo, what the fuck are you doing here? And another Menzo Baranzan alumni hanging out in Baldur's Gate
For some reason.
Yeah, I mean, they even had that some storyline stuff about like one of her items being magical and having something to do with a loth spurned drow or something like that on it. So thought that
The
was pretty
alchemist
cool.
lady from Oboldra, I missed entirely the first run through, so it was dope to get the +2 strength when I made a strength-based monk. And then when you find her in Act 3, I was like, oh, I didn't expect to see you again since I missed you the first time. You want to make my blood explosive? All right, let's do that. So every time I got hit, people would just get blown up. I was like, yes, this is great.
Yes,
I approve this message.
This is great. You're great. Thank you.
I think it only lasted till a long rest. I was real sad because I'm pretty sure it went away. I was like, oh man.
Oh God, that was something I was telling. I forgot who I mentioned, but I think I might have mentioned it in our last one. But the Lathander buff was only supposed to, like, the 1d4 or whatever was only supposed to last until long rest. It lasted the rest of the game for me, and I was like, this Lathander cat's real nice and generous. God dang, that was not supposed to happen at all. That was actually the first game I encountered her both times, and she blew up her, like, house or whatever the second one, and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I'm like, oh, okay, hello, how's it going? And then in the third one, I missed her altogether. I think I just, because I knew what spots I wanted to hit, I think I just attacked the Catherick's base, like, pretty early on. So I was like, I'm not gonna bother with it. There's a terrible lady over there who's torturing gnolls, which gnolls aren't great either, but she's just fucking weird. So we're gonna kill everybody. I don't give a shit.
You talking about Lathanders. I had a friend just get the game recently, and I was, just following along, watching their run, play with them, and we get to the crash, and we get to the weapon, and I just kind of sit back. They're like, what you doing? I want you to do this. Okay. They go up and just grab that bitch off. I'm like, okay.
Here we go.
We're doing it live.
Everything triggers. I'm like, woo! And they're like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm like, I don't know, fam. What do you do? if only you listened to me and saved before we got here.
Oh, God.
I just love the idea of, like, in character, they're holding on to the mace while, like, the shield's up, and it's like, what do I do? And you're like, I don't know.
I don't know, fam. Maybe put it the fuck back.
Oh, God.
Oh, so
That's
funny.
amazing. Yeah, that.
I feel like there's another, like, big moment in Act 3 that
Freaking the dragon, man.
Oh yeah.
Dragon.
Answer. The
one and only time I wanted to speak with Dad is like, yeah, fuck you though.
I know.
He talked to you anyway. Don't act like. I mean, he talked around you.
Talked around me,
talked
and I wanted him
around.
to be like, no, I'm on your team in this fight, please and thank you.
He wasn't having.
Oh
any
my
of that.
God, when that fucking fight starts and you just get, like, whiplash back into the, like, speak with dead pose, and I was like, oh no, what's happening right now? But also, sorry, this reminded me of something else. Did you guys speak to Gortash after he died? Speak with dead?
Nah, man, he was done.
I
Because
spoke
his
to
god
Zero
takes
Dead.
over his body, because he's like, oh no, his soul's with me and I'm fucking him up right now.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, okay. Actually, that is when we were talking like 2 days ago. That's when I was quiet because I was like, I've never seen this before. So hold on, let me have this dialogue. And unfortunately, the voices weren't working for it, so I had to read. But it looked cool, so I was like, I'll have to look it up and see what it sounds like. But it's not Gortash in that body anymore. And I was like, that's cool.
Damn.
Now I want to play the Dark Urge. Get up to the Orin fight. Oh, does she? And then.
I didn't try it on her, so.
But like,
I don't
it
know.
makes me extra curious as to Dark Urge. What happens?
Yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
absolutely. But yeah, the answer fight.
The
First
reveal,
time-
first off. Oh shit.
Reveal. When you walked into the room, I felt like a sense of dread immediately when it was just like the body, and I was like, oh no.
And it was the timing is perfect because this whole time, like you went to the Emperor's apartment, and you saw some sketchy shit, but you saw some stuff that kind of made sense too. So you're kind of like, all right, man, like you're not completely tipping the scales, but I got my eye on you, and you're just there's little hints of like, yeah, maybe this is I don't know, man. You kind of sketch, and even with what's his name? The Ranger. Help me out. The space hamster.
Minsk.
Oh,
Minsk. And he didn't want to extend his protection to him and all that stuff. And like, there's just like hints of assholery in the background.
Yeah.
But that, like, once that reveal is done, and you're like, yeah, dude, he is irredeemable.
Yeah, holy
how
shit.
do you do that to your friend? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that was rough to watch, especially like I think what also cracked me up about it is that you could have like the dialogue with him afterwards after you fight the dragon, or I think maybe during. But you're like, why the fuck didn't you tell me you're a Baldur? And he was like, I never lied to you. I just didn't tell you this. I was like, look,
I
there's
know.
so many. Whoo, buddy. I'm like, all right, you
Oh,
pissed
like,
me off.
Lied
Yeah,
left
for
and
sure.
right.
What'd you say?
I would say it's just the kind. I never lied to you. No, you lied all the time. All sorts of lies.
You did.
Lies of omission. That's the
Absolutely.
lies.
The
Absolutely.
puzzles leading up to that were interesting. There was the one I think you just had to survive a few rounds of a fight or whatever with the
Yeah.
elementals.
Yep.
And the chess one, I was proud of myself because I took all 3 of my attempts, but I got it.
Mhm.
And the other 2, I was like, what? I was so pissed at the flying book
Oh.
one.
The book one, yeah.
It was so dumb.
It was. Like,
So
why couldn't I just read those outright? Why did I have to do some goofy shit just to catch a damn book? Oh, God.
That the survive the fight one was like. By the way, if you have a warlock with a repelling blast, it's trivial.
I just did Globe of Invulnerability and waited.
Well, see.
Oh,
so if you
you're
shoot
dumb
them with
now.
with repelling blast, they just get yeeted off into the chasm and die.
They fixed that in this last patch. Because I did that I did that my first round. My second time, I forgot that I was the main character and I was a wizard. And it was after a long rest, I forgot to put mage armor on myself, so I had like 12 AC. And I picked up that thing, and they were like, "You're the target." I was like, "Fuck." So it was me like desperately trying to keep myself alive. It worked out; it was fine. But like my first 2 rounds were me just like buffing myself because I was like, "I have 13 AC right now." Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Fuse is
We
a
gotta
dirty
fix that.
chasm eater.
Especially because they're like, the person who has the torch is the target. I was like, oh, fuck. That's me. I figured it was someone else. Okay, cool. But that was entertaining, to say
That
the
was
least.
the dragon fight was so, and he was
The
pissed.
fight was cool.
Oh,
The reveal
I
was
mean-
cool.
Yeah, he's rightfully pissed.
So, did you guys know that you could hide behind those like shards or whatever to not take damage from the breath weapon?
Yeah.
I found that
Yeah.
out by accident.
I mean, it just kind of like went
I took
basic
that to the face. of the
RPG knowledge there. He goes, "Oh, there's this barrier here. He's charging something up. I'm gonna run behind the object."
I thought it was mostly because if you destroyed them and you were near them, you get elemental resistance. So I thought, like, initially, anytime I did AoEs and they blew up, I was like, okay, so this gives me resistance to his damage or whatever, so that makes it survivable or whatever. But at one point, they repopulate, too, to make sure that you have something to hide behind. But both times I was using either Global Invulnerability or I think I had Wall of Stone as well to kind of, like, block me off. But eventually I found it by accident because I was like, I'm just going to tuck you over here so you don't die or something. I don't know. I'm just going to tuck you over there. You just fuck right off. And then the breath weapon went off and I was like, did you take no damage too? But you were... Oh. But it was like fully on my second run when the dragon was almost dead. And I was like, yes, big brain here. Doing all the work. It was very funny.
But, you know, the book puzzle and the fucking painting thing took me so fucking long because I could not,
Yeah, go ahead.
for the
sorry.
longest time. You had to throw the book and then you could pick it up. Okay, if you say so.
I just had to like catch it. Although I used Mage Hand to catch it once.
If I tried to click on it, it would just not let me interact with it. If you attacked it, it destroyed it.
Yes, I know you had to pass a sleight of hand check, so I usually had my dexiest person go grab it.
What?
And if they failed, then I just used my Mage Hand to grab it.
What do you mean, you dex check? How? Where?
It was a sleight of hand. Like when I went to go grab it or whatever, whoever is trying.
What do you mean
to
when
say,
you
like,
went to
sleight
go
of
grab
hand.
it? There was no
you
go
just-
and try and grab it.
If it's flying around, you just stand in one spot, wait till it comes to you, click on it, and then you get a
No.
chance to catch it.
There was some bullshit dialogue or line that's like, you can't catch that. I was like,
Surprise Joe's the best Joe.
oh,
I know.
that's I spent so long. If it had just said, dex check when I tried to click on it a million times, that'd been great. But then in the end, I just tried everything, and apparently you could throw it, and then it'll land on the ground. and then you can pick it up.
I also found out you can command it to grovel, and it'll stop.
Ah.
I'm glad I saved though, because I read it. I was like, well, I guess this person was like, you chose poor. Like, what? I'm sorry, you want the like fucking appeaser over here? Is I guess the right answer?
Yeah. I remember the first time I did it, I kind of breezed through it, so I don't remember. I was like, this one seems the least worst, so I'll go with that one. And the second time I really dug into it, I'm like, they're all not great. Fine. I mean, there are clearly some that are really not great, but it's fine. The judgy one I wanted to talk about because I didn't know how to get that motherfucker out of his shadow thing. I had to turn undead both times. Because I was like, I don't know how to get rid of you. Both times turn undead landed, even though it was like 9% chance. So I was like, maybe turn undead's the way to go. I don't know. But as you know, Shadowheart is benched. And in my second one, I had no healer, because in the first one, I was a cleric at that point. But the second run, I was like, Shadowheart, why don't you get out of here? I know you're level 6. It's fine. Just stand here. Cast. Okay, fantastic. Back on the bench. And swapped him back out. So how did you deal with the shadow thing? Because that was my only solution.
Eventually, through trial and error, because nothing worked, remove curse.
Remove curse is what did it for me too.
Yeah.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Because
Because I saw it, it was like, oh, that's a curse. I'll remove curse.
Was there something that indicated curse? Because I'd have figured that out a lot faster.
I'm pretty sure there was some element of it where it was like something curse, or the effect was a curse, or something.
You know what? He might have just been called the cursed judge or something.
Something like that. There was
the enemy's title, which I didn't.
There.
I was like, okay, that's what the enemy's called. Fine. I did not equate that to curse. I was like, okay, I get it. Here's the story of a thief. You're the judge. I'm gonna tell you what the end result is. No, nothing. Okay.
Big brain time. I never registered that. I totally remember his name being the cursed judge, and I was like, that's unfortunate. Let's turn undead on this bitch.
I didn't figure it out. I ran out of things to try, remove curse, and then I went, oh, you dicks. I figured it out after it worked.
I played this game twice, and I only found out from you guys.
I mean, it happens. I learned there's a dinosaur part of the game in the circus.
Yeah.
I was going to say, now you know what Joe feels like.
Yeah. Oh, God. That's hilarious. That is amazing.
Oh, and also, you guys, it was through this that I learned about the harpies in Act 1.
Oh,
yeah. Or siren, whatever they were.
What harpies? Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that fight was awesome. That whole situation was awesome. And then the poor, I also kind of liked it from a story standpoint, because it's like there are no saviors, right? Because Will's dad was all like, the dragon will save fucking Baldur's Gate and all this stuff, and you're like, I mean, we should have a lot of dragons from the Gith anyway. But yeah, sure, all right, we'll get them. Yeah. We got a green dragon in. Why not?
Yeah, or he was like a gold or something. Not gold. He was.
Brass.
He was a dead.
Brass. He was brass, I think. I think you're right.
Dead dragon.
He's super dead, but
he was dead. That was the color he was.
Jesus.
My
favorite color.
The reappearance of Auntie Ethel. I was trying to remember the name of the hag.
Oh, that bitch.
Yeah. Yep.
I very much enjoyed that quest.
I murked her in Act 1, so I didn't get that on the Dark Urge.
You can murder her and still kill her again.
Yeah.
She comes back after you kill her.
Yeah, you just you either have to somehow extract them or do what I did and do a battlefield C-section.
Oh my god, that was the funniest thing, because I was like, Leonard, did you use the hag potion thing to make her throw up? And he was like, nah, man, I cut the girl out. Jesus. But the best was that we were both like, but the kid was traumatized either way, right? Like it wasn't my method, it wasn't your method, kid just fucked. Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm not the bad guy then.
No. I mean, I'll say this. They were like, yeah, get all the material you need. The reward is in the safe. And in the safe, it was like, yeah, here's a potion that makes hags throw up babies. I feel like I'm going to need that. I put it in my inventory.
Yeah. I think it's an actual potion that you throw on her, because I thought it was something that maybe I was gonna have to coat a weapon with or something. But then when I clicked on it, it did the throwing animation. And I was like, oh, I guess okay, throw it. I don't know. And then she threw it up at me. I was like, oh, that was so easy. Sure, all right.
I did a good job of focusing her. I was like, all right, this is going well. And then as the fucking mushrooms, I was like, oh, okay. So they're all, I'm nowhere near any of these. This is a whole different dynamic now.
Yeah. And they're spaced out so well too. So it's like if you don't know what you're going for, and that's why in the second turn playthrough, it's like I know. I go to that corner, I'll go to this corner, and she'll just stun lock her, and we'll get rid of the mushrooms in the meantime. But it's rough if you don't know what you're looking for the first time around.
Come to think of it,
Cool.
you said stun lock. I was like, I played I don't know if I used stunning strike once.
I wouldn't expect you to, Joe.
I'm just remembering, it's a good ability. I use flurry of blows all the time.
And by stun lock, I mean like trip attack or something like that. Like not necessarily stun the act.
Well, sure. Well, no, it's just the word that triggered me going.
Yeah, the crowd control.
That? I probably should have.
Yeah.
How do you spec into stun lock?
You spec into trip attack or whatever, and then just let them sit there.
And beat the
it's
brains out of them. Yeah, the anti-ethel thing was cool. I like the lady was much more redeemable because for whatever reason I either skipped it or I never talked to her about her brothers. So to me, she was this insufferable bitch, and I was like, I saw her again. I'm like, oh god, here we go. Here comes the Looney Tune train. What now? What, you sold your baby to a fucking Kuatoa or something? Like what? Oh god, but no, she actually kind of redeemed herself. So.
I remember because Netters was like, she's a fucking bitch. That lady's pissing me off. And I was like, what? She was so regretful the whole time. And he's like, no, she wasn't.
She was awful.
I was like, okay, you probably need to tell her that Auntie Ethel killed her brothers because otherwise she's just a manipulative person. Anyway, but yeah, so I both times let her have her husband as a zombie. And oh my lord, was that very abusive.
I got to see it the second time.
Yeah, and at the end she was like, I'll find a way to fix you somehow, and you could, like, the dialogue options were you trying to say, like, you can't fix this, or it was something like, you can do it. And yeah, I tried to you can't fix it, and she was like, either way, I'm gonna keep him around. I was like, alright, well,
I feel like she gave him up, but maybe I'm making that...
No, she absolutely didn't. I mean, not for me. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I went down the wrong conversation tree, but she was like, I'll keep him. Like, okay.
No, the first time I was like, no, you cannot have this zombie wand. I'm a paladin of nature. That is dumb and stupid for you to even think. I'm just going to walk away from the conversation. I'm not going to end this quest. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
My spore druid was like, I've done worse. So you can have it. I was like talking to her with 3 zombies behind me, and I was like, I can't judge. So you can have it.
You can't judge it, man. Go ahead.
No. I'm running around
it was just like
every day.
She was gonna go walk through wilderness, God knows what, pregnant, and like visibly pregnant, not like 2 weeks in, with the corpse of her husband, like on top of being exceptionally dangerous, weird, exhausting, and stupid. Even like regular predators are gonna be like, time to go chew on something, and your stupid ass is gonna probably fight him fisticuffs to the death, which will be really quick for you. But it's just, oh my god, everything about that situation.
The one thing about her being in the city that blew my mind was like, how the fuck did you get in? There are whole people, families, and shit that are stuck at the gate that are regular-looking people. Your zombie boyfriend made it in. Maybe you unsummoned him or something, and then like walked in and then resummoned him or whatever. But like, this is bullshit.
This is bullshit.
Remembering Auntie Ethel, I'm pretty sure when you fight her the first time, you can get her staff.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's marked as a story item. Did it ever come back up for anybody?
I don't think it was.
It just lived in my inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that lived in my camp.
It was irritating.
Put it in the traveler's box or whatever that was.
I was like, it's gonna come up as a story item. I'm gonna have it when it's needed.
For sure, a hag, right? Like, yeah, they come back all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you fight her the first time, I was like, there's no way this is the end of her. But I liked that it was so much time that I genuinely kind of forgot about her. So when I saw the like hag survivors like flyers around, I was like, oh cool, all right, she gonna come back. Let's see what's up.
There were flyers?
Yeah, there was like advertisements around for them.
Huh.
There's so many around the city. That's how I found her, because you walk in and there's like a bunch all over the place. And I was like, what's this?
Nah,
The
there
red
was-
caps in the tavern fight.
You just
Oh
go to the
my
barracks,
God.
and there's a lady like, save my daughter, and the guards are like, well, we're the cops, so we're not very helpful. And I was like, oh well,
Well,
I
that
could be
lady was
helpful.
enchanted, and that was so cool because she kept forgetting. Because she was like, "I'm sorry, what are you here for?" And she's like, "I just fucking told you, my daughter." And she was like, "I'm sorry, ma'am. If you just explain to me why you're here," and like you could see that she
Was she? I just got the vibe that she
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, she was
useless.
caught in a loop. Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, she was caught. She was trying to help her, but she couldn't.
I
She was
did not catch
stuck
that.
that way. Yeah.
I just got. I don't want to help you, and if I'm just gonna bureaucracy you until you're gone. No part of me thought that person was ensorcelled.
Yeah, nope, she was fucked. But that was a fun way to. That's the other part that I find fascinating about this act, is seeing how we all like came to things and like that exists. Oh, okay, I knew that the whole time. Yes. Oh, that's
God,
also
when you
fun.
go to the bar and like an Auntie tries to pay you to go kill her as if she's a crazy nuisance before
Yeah.
revealing that she's
Yeah.
her, the reveal is like, ugh, you were gross before.
Yeah. Yep.
Now
She was
yeah.
like, "Don't I look great pregnant?" I'm like, "Ooh, this is rough on the eyes. All right, we're gonna take care of you." Like, there's a lot of civilians here. And then she teleports. So I'm like, "Oh, good call. Let's go downstairs. We'll kill you there." That's fine. That was
I
very
think
interesting. to say the least.
last major thing we're missing is Asterians.
Cazador.
Yeah, Cazador.
Uh-huh.
Which I can never
Uh,
think of normally because I played Fallout New Vegas. So when I think of Cazadors, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Different person
Those giant
altogether.
asshole mutant wasps that sting the shit out of you.
They literally patched this the next day I was going to fight him in my second run. But the first run, if you just ring him out, he's dead. It goes back to his coffin. That fight was half a round. because Karlek threw him overboard, and then I just went and clicked his coffin, and that was the end of the fight. So the second time I was in the actual fight, because they patched it so that he just pops back up and there's no issue there. But I brought Asterion because I was trying to give him a chance this run. Every so often I would take him out. So he was benched since Act 2 because I was like, no, I do hate you. I'm just gonna leave you there. And then for this, I brought him back out because I was like, this is your storyline. Let's see what happens. Oh, you get stuck in the corner immediately and taken away from my group. You know, that's fine. You weren't going to be that helpful. The rest of us will take care of it. We'll get you out eventually. So he was like stuck in the ritual thing while we killed Cazador and everybody else. And then he popped out for the cinematic.
That was another one of
Left
those.
him there.
I forget if Cazador had any dialogue about it, but it was one of those. Well, Asterian's not on my team, so he's not here for this content.
Yep.
He was just doing the thing, and I don't remember any dialogue about I need a guy or I'm missing somebody, or maybe he just had a sub. But I was like, I feel like I know you can't do this, so I'm not worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just beat your ass and then we'll figure it out? And then when you bring Asterion and he confirms that he's the worst,
Yes.
man, it was interesting because I had Lae'zel and somebody else that I don't remember who else was there, but he was like, they very clearly didn't want to let him become the vampire to end all vampires. So it's like, I feel like you in particular, Lae'zel, should be fine with this.
I don't know. I remembered this is kind of off topic, so if you want to go back to this, that's fine. But I just have to say something before I run off and say goodnight to my husband. But you know how when you're running around the mansion and there's that room with like the cursed little girl in it? First time I ran up, I forgot that, remove curse to spell, which also explains my whole shadow curse judge thing. So what I did, like a lady, is I ran in and I threw her body into the corner. Where her aura would no longer bother us, and then we ran around the room and did whatever we needed.
Have you guys seen the
He's
videos?
such a degenerate.
Yeah, this one's even more of a degenerate. Have you guys seen the videos of people picking up the body and putting it in their inventory, and then walking around town and murking everyone?
I saw a brief clip of that, and I was like,
Wow.
"Oh,
It turns
my God.
every civilian into stone.
stone."
That's...
It's like that stone when they get like disintegrated.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Because I know you take damage, obviously, but I never saw anybody
died to it.
perish
Yeah.
from it. Yeah,
It's
So I didn't
it's
know
like
what the end result.
so like all the NPCs, like civilians, all have like 1 HP. So as soon as they enter the aura, they just dead.
I feel like I want to try and do Cazador as soon as possible in a run through, and except for the part where you have to get to the next location, I'm kind of like, well, what if I just took this to the House of Grief and just was like, all right, let's fight, just chuck it out on the floor.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Also, I will be right back. I'm gonna say goodnight to Debs, but
Can I dub? Sleep well.
I didn't let him become vampirism incarnate, but
I talked him out of it too. Yeah.
he was still pretty visceral with his dispatch of Cazador.
Yeah, that's earned. I think at that point, he was so with, and I applaud them for doing this because I think a lot of people or a lot of stories they try to end up storybooky or tie up ends nicely. I thought for sure in Act 3 Astarion was going to come around. It's like, okay, you've seen literally what you've done to these poor people, the suffering they've gone through because, and granted you were under a similar element of duress. You just were higher up on the totem pole. But he just was like it affected him a little bit, but there's still... It just didn't hit full on. Yeah, it's like
he started showing like all that regret and remorse and stuff, and then just nah.
Yeah, and then just water off a duck's back. Like that was the end of that.
Yeah, well, that's because Astarion is bad people, and in run through 3 and in perpetuity, he's gonna sneak up, and I'm gonna go, cool, steak. Bye.
Yep. Yeah. No, that is the appropriate decision.
Problemo solvdo.
He's just not the kind of character I like. So I was like, all right, maybe I'm just being an asshole. Let me try being a better person to be like, all right, maybe I'll just give this guy a chance,
So if you just completely ignore him in Act 1, he shows up in Act 3, and he has had the piss beat out of him in Cazador's mansion.
Oh, because they catch him, I guess. They
capture him. And he hates your guts.
What'd you do?
Because we abandoned him, basically.
Because you abandoned him, basically.
Oh, if you kick him out?
No, like if you don't take him with you.
Yeah, but if you don't, I guess I'm just picturing if you never even talk to him. Like, how does he blame you for that?
He saw you on the ship, remember?
Oh.
Yeah. And you also,
I forget that everybody saw you on the ship, even though they didn't, because you were there and you didn't see any of them.
Exactly, Joe. Exactly.
I guess maybe they did pre-game.
Pre-waking up, maybe.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. That's fair. You can hate me for that. Doesn't matter. You're a bad person.
Yep. 100%. There's no argument there. But yeah, he's on even after that, because there was no way I could entertain it. If he was some kind of somewhat decent vampire spawn or elf, whatever you want to call him, I was like, all right, but maybe you can handle the power. No way in fucking hell. If you get that, I might as well just drop a bomb on this fucking area.
I mean, if I think the Dark Urge run, if he had survived to that point, if I had found Cazador's mansion in the Dark Urge run, I probably would have let him. Because I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna say to you? I'm the Dark Urge.
You're right. I'm the son of God, pretty much.
What do you want me to tell you? No, you should become super powerful and all this other stuff.
Yeah. No, that's right up their alley, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's.
I feel like he didn't have a big react because Will would always give you some sort of reaction when you showed up. I was like, oh, by the way, I saw your dad. You weren't there though. And he would usually have something to say. But he was like, oh, that vampire guy you've been cowering about? Oh, super killed him. Totally dead. And then I feel like he was like, ugh, I didn't get to become super vampire. I was like, I don't even remember that being an option because I've been ignoring you in this first run through. You'll get over it though. And it was that. He had very minimal reaction.
You'll get over it though.
Will was usually had some sort of emote when you were like, nah, I did stuff without you, but Astarion didn't give a shit. I was like, good, I don't care about you.
Astarion is gross.
Yeah,
Um,
fully gross.
But that was another fun fight, I thought. If you didn't do the Foos Yeetus Deletus strategy, it was
Listen, it's been patches, okay? And I didn't know it was gonna work. I figured he'd fly his stupid vampire ass back up, but he didn't. He died and went right to his coffin.
yeah,
Ooh.
I've never ever
Thanks
heard of
for
a master vampire falling to their death.
I know, right?
That's not a
the
thing.
creature that can fly, that flying around the
In
map,
multiple
you know.
ways, by the way. Like it's not like he just has one option.
Yep.
He
Correct.
can miss.
That fight
he can
was
bad, he can
significantly harder.
teleport, like, yeah.
The second time around, because the first time around I had Shadowheart with radiant powers and a paladin with radiant powers, and Shadowheart was wielding a mace that said, "Are you an undead within an ungodly radius?
Blind.
You're fucked. You just fucked.
Yeah.
Straight fucked." The second time I was like, "Oh man, I wish all these boys was straight fucked because that made this way better."
Yeah. It was way more violent on my second time, but it wasn't too bad. It was just fine. Thankfully.
Yeah, no, that
Were there
was
any
good.
other like big? Because yeah, you mentioned the. Thanks for bringing up the Cazador thing. So I genuinely forgot because I hate Astarion, and I completely like
a couple
did not
small
think about
things.
the storyline.
Did you fight the slime wizard
Yes.
in the sewers? I did the second
It's
time.
crazy, yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He had there were methods, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the
method.
mud methods or whatever. You're talking about the
They're all
Yeah.
grease.
and
Yes,
he
grease
had,
methods,
and he
yeah.
had the like
And
the.
he had some
Did you guys
s-
return the head to the skeleton?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I did. I know once when I left and came back with the head, he attacked me outright, and I was like, "Why? I guess I'll fight you." And then the second time, I walked up with it, and he was totally fine with me putting the head on the skeleton. And I was like, "Okay, what did I do the first time? I must have fucked something up." He has no dialogue. He just immediately started attacking me. So I was like, "All right,
Dang.
I don't get it." Yeah, I don't know what happened. I must have glitched something out, maybe, or I fucked up. I'm not sure, but that wasn't too bad.
No, the first time I was just like, "Fine, I'll leave. I guess I don't need to fight you and your nonsense. You're clearly crazy, but goodbye." And then the second time, I'm pretty sure he just attacked. The second time I walked by, I was like, "All right."
Yeah, it's like, you gotta go now. What's up?
Just trying to think of the other small things. Oh, this first run through, I completely missed Jahira's house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I missed it entirely.
Yeah, you can go to her house because I went there and there was something about it's all her adoptive children, and one of them like straight up commented that that's who they were in relation to Jahira. But I was like, how did I miss this the first time? All right, fuck it. I don't
Yeah.
normally do this, but I'm gonna go get Jahira, and we'll see what's going on.
And, Car like loses her shit there.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
yeah.
that'd have been interesting to see. Carlac wasn't in my group.
Fangirl to the max.
What was your main group? The first time, Joe.
It was me as a paladin, and then Shadowheart cleric, and then Carlac as a barbarian, and then Gale as a wizard. And when I found Jahira's house, I had Astarion and Lae'zel and Will, because I was just trying to get the people I didn't have the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was playing the monk.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that was interesting. And she has like a little Harper hideout underneath her house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Of course she does. Of course she does.
No, that was
Oh.
there.
That would have been sad for the Dark Rouge run. Hey, yeah, Jahira adopted us all. Oh,
She's dead.
well, she's dead.
And I did it. Uh oh.
I did it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a small thing. Oh, the painter that you can rescue from the
Yes.
Zentarum. I missed him
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
Zentarum in
yeah.
the first run through, but the second one, so him in his haunted house was fun.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were pissed about it. But I don't know, it didn't bother me too much. I was like, all right, well, clearly there are rules, and if you get too close to these skeletons, it will jettison me down to the first floor again, or whatever. Like, it'll just knock you back or whatever. But I kept walking into
What?
them by the stairs. They fixed it. They did patch it, so depending on when you got to it. But initially, when you walk by the skulls now in the haunted house, they just slow you down, so you just walk really slowly. But the first iteration, when you were walking by them,
Oh,
they
no,
would
okay.
blast you backwards.
I remember. You just hit him at range and then kept going. It's fine.
Yeah, but they were immune to like almost everything, and I forgot what
They
it
weren't
was.
im-
But I was like,
Force.
Yeah, force damage worked against
Bill
them.
goes
Yep.
bird.
I just happened to have a
Yeah.
warlock that time around, so I was like, "Will, would you mind?"
Yeah. Exactly. I had Will just shoot every single one of them. It was very funny.
That was fun, and that was interesting because the first time I think I just was walking just to fill out the map, and it was like, "Yeah, this section. Would you like to open the door?" I was like, "Well, that's clearly just a wall, so thank you for just
Yeah.
ruining the secret entrance. But sure, let's
Yeah.
open it." And you
Yeah.
find the mummy guy.
Yeah. Yep.
But the second time I was going to the
Mhm.
painter, and it was like, "Yeah, you better go talk to somebody. This guy might help." And it actually
Mystic
directed me
Carrion. Yeah.
to the mummy guy. He was a bitch and a half. Like his fight wasn't that bad, but his like tomb where you find his organs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was so fucked sideways by all the like spell curses.
The best was the first time I went, I was a life cleric. So I was like, yeah, take damage from me. I'll just fucking heal it right back. So I just kept casting like nothing was wrong because I was like, I don't care. I'll heal it back. It's not an issue. But the second time I was like, oh, this is way more complicated with no healers in the team and my casters being a warlock and a wizard. So basically, Will and I hid behind the women, and Lae'zel and Karlach killed everything.
I don't think I ever found all of his organs because he's got a handful there, and then his heart is inside the dude's chest. But I feel like there's a fourth organ and maybe a fifth one that gave him special abilities, and I never found them.
Only 4.
There might be 4. I know I was missing 1.
I know I did find them all. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was all of them. I don't
Pokemon?
want to say it's all, but yeah.
There were definitely 2 at his tomb thing. Maybe the third one was there, and I just missed it because the fourth one was in the dude's chest.
Yeah, the mandatory one was the heart because without
Yeah.
that, he just doesn't die. But yeah, when you find that guy in the cupboard, I found out that like I accidentally kind of glitched myself out of the storyline in the first one or the second one, but I managed to reload because thankfully I did it like a second ago, so I was able to go back. But it was also because I knew the storyline, so I jumped ahead by accident. Knowing that I was gonna kill him outright, I like talked to the artist, did that stuff or whatever, and then like I knew that I was just gonna go kill Mystic Carrion, and I already had like 2 of his things. So I broke those and then went to go find the dude in the cupboard. But because I didn't talk to Mystic Carrion, who told me to go find him, when Thrumbo popped out, he was just like, "Pardon me." And I was like, "Oh, hey, it's cool. You can hang out." And he was like, "Okay, cool." Like that was it. I was like, "Shit!" So like I couldn't talk him into like finding out it was there. And then I imagined if I killed him, it would show up. And I was like, "I can't kill this dude. The whole point is me trying to save him anyway." So yeah, I had to reload when I broke the other 2 jars, and then talk to Mystic Carrion, go get Thrumbos out of his chest, and then go kill all of them and kill him. And that was actually another situation where at the end, my concentrated spells attacked the zombie dudes who all came running into the building, and they immediately turned on me, and I was like, God damn it. So I had to reload the end of that fight. Ugh.
The first time I was like, "Oh, it's in one of his zombies' chests. Cool." And then I went and killed all the zombies in the house that were none of the zombies that mattered because the zombies that mattered ran away. And I was like, "Well, I didn't see one, but maybe I'll find it in the actual fight." So I went and fought him and killed everything and everybody and him. I still don't see it. All right. Then I went to go tell Thrumbo he was dead. And he's like, "Oh, it's inside me?" It's like, "Oh, it's inside you." Okay. So I just killed him and then double killed him by breaking the heart afterward.
Oh my god.
He didn't pop right back up. That was my main concern. I was like, I haven't found it. I really don't want to do this fight again. I was like, oh, apparently it takes him some time to come back. This is good.
Yeah, it's not instant, thankfully, but yeah, he will eventually make his way back. But just kind of moving us along, because we're getting relatively late, so we just keep moving. But we can talk forever about this. It's so much fun. But I think I'm gonna get towards like I guess the ending-ish, which kind of has quite the fucking walk up just to get into it, right? Because like
my god, yeah, it's such
you gather all your companions or whatever, which the first time I got a lot of people. The second time it felt like I got everyone I possibly could. So in that scene where they're just like, "I'm here, and me, and me, and me, and me," it went on for like 10 minutes, and I was like, "Glad you're all here. Thanks, guys." It was really cool to see everyone in the same room. I think one of my complaints that I saw was like, it seems crazy that you can call in companions and NPCs that you met along the way, but why the fuck can't I use the rest of my camp? Like I can call in all these other people, but like Halcyon and fucking Asterion are just twiddling their goddamn thumbs while everybody else was working. So I was like, I don't use them all that often, but like it would be cool if I could get them on the field for a bit.
It also was lame that it was like, oh, I gotta use like a whole ass turn to call somebody else. I mean,
Yeah,
it
it's
feels like I feels like I could just be like, hey yo, and then swing a sword, but that's fine.
In Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, they actually had a similar situation where it's like you had to hold down this like holy relic of the gods, but you also had to go kick somebody's ass on the other side. And they didn't tell you this beforehand. It was like, oh, but like whatever party members you had with you were with you. So if you were, I don't know, maybe a lich and you were down a few members, shit got a little spicy because you're like,
So at this point,
Good luck.
I got full mind flare at this point.
oh, okay. Well, yeah,
So
actually,
even before like the
Like,
decision
right-
or whatever.
Right at the start, like just before that big run up to the we're taking it.
Okay.
I took the astral tadpole. It went full mind flare,
Okay.
which I would tell you is so damn powerful.
Yeah.
On top of the dark urge abilities.
a mind
Uh,
flayer
so
ball.
so what was everyone's decisions actually when the emperor was like, hey, you need to be an illithid, or I could go eat the Orpheus. Then I could do it. How did everyone's decision making go for that?
I would mind flayer Team Gith all day. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind flayer too, and I was mad about it. I was like, I didn't want it to be me. And then Orpheus
I
was
was
like, I'll do
like-
it, I'll sacrifice myself. And I was like, fine.
Straight up, I was like, well, I don't want to do it. Karlak's like, I'll do it. I was like, see, the problem is no, though, because I like you.
Yeah.
And you suck. You killed a dragon and you're the worst and you've been lying the whole time, so you get nothing. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Orpheus like, I'll do it. Yeah, it works. All right, go. Good for you. You got this.
Oh my god.
I like this. You're not any of my friends, and enough of the Gith who matter will know you came back and you saved everybody, so your legend will grow. That'll all turn out great, and I see no downside.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh god.
Well,
The
there's one thing I
second
can tell
time-
you about a paladin is that he won't lay down his life for others. Let Orpheus do that shit.
Orpheus, you got this. The first time when I did change into the illithid, it like full made me so sad because I didn't touch a tadpole the whole time, and it was like my character's whole idea. Like also in the storyline of the game, I didn't know if there wasn't even a possibility for you to, have a perfect ending and you get it out, everything's cool, no worries. So I was like, I like the idea of trying to fight off any of the illithid influence the whole fucking time. So that's what I was trying to do. So that's why when that answer came to me and I was like, oh, this hurts so much. I was fighting so hard to not do this, and then at the end I wind up being that anyway. So that was sorry, Nubs is trying to get in my lap. Hold on, I need a blanket down. Don't go do it again. Okay. Blankets down. There you go. So I went illithid the first time, and the second time I was so curious because I was like, this is awful and I feel bad, but thankfully I can save scum this after I find out that I hate it, which I'm sure I will. But the second time I let Karlak do it. And she's fucking cheery the whole time. And I'm like, this is the wrong response. You're supposed to call me a monster for letting you do this and like be mad at me.
You are a
And
monster.
she
How did you do
wasn't.
that?
I didn't. I save scum the shit out of that.
You're
but I
right.
just like I
Joe
wanted
didn't
to.
even do that. That's how much of a monster you are.
What do you mean
I
Joe
went
didn't even
into
do
it.
that?
I went
Joe
into
didn't
it
turn
knowing
Karlak
that I
into
would
it.
undo it. I didn't.
Uh-huh.
Like,
I'll tell you
stick-
this: if I hadn't been doing the Karlak romance storyline, I'd have been like, "No, that makes sense. You're gonna die in like a day anyway. This is perfect. That makes sense. You're a hero. I'm fucking proud of shit of you. We're gonna do this, and everyone's gonna remember you for being a goddamn hero. Let's go." But I was like, I kind of want to see if there's a way out of this for you because I'm invested now.
Yeah.
So this guy can do it. You just been in a
I-
bubble forever. You don't matter.
No, I saved scum and then turned into Listen again. I was like, I hate this shit.
Should have let her do it.
Fine. No, she didn't. I don't know if like that's part of it because also I didn't see it to fruition. Like I only did it for that scene just to see what she would say like after the information and all that stuff and whatever. So I didn't get to the ending and see if there were any regrets. So that maybe that's when it kicks in. But for that like initial scene, I was like, let me just see what it's. I hate it. Go back. And then I get turned in. I'm like, hate it too. But at least I can live with myself.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I guess
Which
there's
is
another
interesting for the
question. If
final
you went to the
episode.
House of Hope, does that mean you saved Orpheus?
I think you.
Right?
I mean, it at least gives you the opportunity to, right?
It gives you the opportunity.
Well,
Yeah.
talking with another friend, I was like, how about that Raphael fight? He's like, I didn't fight Raphael.
But
And I was like, what? Why? He's like, no, I got no problems with Raphael. Oh. So you could definitely get to the end of the game without saving Orpheus. You don't need that
Yeah.
hammer for shit.
You just don't interact with it.
So has anybody seen what the Emperor does if you let him eat Orpheus, basically?
I watched a video on it. Good lord.
Like just horrible,
you-
super bad ending?
I mean, I only saw like the animation for it, and that cracked me up because he goes up and like eats Orpheus's head, and then his brains or whatever, and then turns around full bloodied and is like, "Don't judge me." Like, too late, buddy. Good lord. Yeah, but that, I mean, is there something beyond that, or that
No,
was
I'm
all I
just
saw.
curious if anyone like actually saw that all the way through.
No.
No, I
we
killed
saw
the
a
shit
clip.
out of Baldur. Go fuck yourself, dude. But yeah,
Yeah.
Orpheus is fine. Orpheus was a good choice. At least I was fine with it.
Yeah, of course
What?
the gifts are, man. They're down to party. 'Cause
She's
it's-
fine with it.
I mean, she
it's
wasn't in the party, so I don't remember if she was there at the
Mhm.
moment.
Well, there it
okay.
is. That's the,
But at the
Yeah.
end, she was like, "Yeah, but no, you know what? No, she finds out after the fact when she's like mind flayer." I was like, "No, this is Orpheus." And
No,
she
that's
and
Orpheus.
what's his name, the one who's been trying to like be the resistance the whole time. They're both upset for a second, and then he's like, "No, this is good. I'm gonna save everybody. Then you're gonna go save the rest of them." And then they're like, "Yes, we've been charged with Orpheus's legacy." And I'm like, "Yeah, see, you get it."
Yeah.
well, shit, yeah. That's good to know. I felt so bad when he was like, "I will sacrifice myself for my people," and blah 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 blah. And I was like,
Mhm.
fine.
Dude deserves to go out, sacrifice himself for his people. He earned it.
God.
Did any of you guys manage to kill the red dragon on that boss
Yes.
fight?
Yep.
All right.
I spared him because I thought I could free him.
I didn't.
'Cause I was like, if I just ace the Emperor, he's good. And he's standing on a fucking Elder Brain. My dumbass is like, just kill the Mind Flayer. You'll be fine.
My dumbass, the first time, didn't notice that it was a mind control. I was like, this fucking spicy red dragon wants to throw down, we'll throw down! And
Oh,
I
yeah.
killed him. And then the second time, I was like, oh, physically dominated. All right. well.
Yeah.
I did not notice that the first time. Yeah.
I didn't
No.
either. Would not have changed my actions.
I one-rounded the dragon.
There you go.
If that says how powerful that Dark Urge Mind Flayer is.
Dude, Sorcerer
Yeah.
Mind Flayer was bananas where you could
Yeah.
like bonus action and actions don't fucking matter. Like it's just like godly. Oh man, it was
And you
wrong.
can free cast as well once. I think.
It felt like I was cheating. And like just straight
It
up what I was
did.
doing, it just felt like I was cheating. Although I did get a brain eat kill on another Mind Flayer, so I was very happy about that.
That's awesome.
I did that the
That's
second run.
So everybody would just turn into mind flayers up in here. All right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. When we first unlocked the full release, I remember posting like, "You're all cowards," and I posted the achievement of romancing the Emperor.
Oh yeah, that was you. That was absolutely dying. I think you posted that like days after I had that shock of him showing up shirtless, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're amazing. That's so funny."
I think I ended up using a handful of allies in that final fight because I was like, "Oh, this is very clearly the end. I should have been using these guys the whole time." So I called in the
Yeah.
Wizard Cannon and like the Hell Knights and the Harpers, I think. But I still had like 4 more
Yeah.
allies I could have used.
I only brought in the things I didn't care too much about, so it's just like I don't. like the green lady's fingers or whatever. It just you get in here. I don't give a shit if you die. One of them, I don't know what she was. I think she was a rogue of some kind, but like she would reaction sneak attack people. So if they hit her, she would just stab them for like 45, and I was like, holy shit!
There you go.
God damn! Yeah, it was.
I got mad at myself because I forgot that because I got divine intervention at a certain level with Shadowheart. It's not like a 10% chance. Yeah, you use this
It
once,
just
it's
happens.
out.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll use it in the final fight. And then when I got to the final fight, I was, oh, you know what? The reason I forgot about it is because Hope has it as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, divine intervention kind of blows. This is disappointing. I can get an item or a decent heal or a decent damage or 2 other things that aren't even memorable. All right. Then I forgot to use divine intervention in the final fight because what for?
Because oops. Yeah, exactly. Scooching ahead, at the end, obviously, like once you win and all that. Also, yeah, when you finish against the Elder Brain or whatever, you finally like make it into the like Nether Brain situation or whatever, and it's like you and your boys all fighting on this floating platform nonsense. That thankfully was not so bad. That was pretty quick. But after that, they're like, "Hey, you can take over the Nether Brain," and I was like, "That sounds like some wild shit. I'm not gonna do it, but that's very cool that they."
Oh, that makes
That's
sense.
very cool. The option comes up. Oh my god! Yeah,
Because I was shocked when I got in there because I was like, oh, I assumed this portal would bring everybody. Is just me in here?
Just you.
All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I think I got one other person in there, but I wasn't a mind flayer, so I had 0 chances to take over the brain. Orpheus was just up in there like, yeah, I'm gonna kill it. I was like, yeah, good. That's what we're here for.
Oh yeah, because you weren't the mind. Oh,
Yeah.
so that changes the outcome for that. Yeah, there was a like you could take this power for yourself. It's like no, we're good.
No,
Let's get rid of it.
we're good.
Nabby.
No thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So on the Dark Urge, it has 2 options there. It's to take it for yourself and then take it in your father's name.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the I reloaded right there for the other one for the other chief.
Oh, to get both of the.
Yeah, it was like defeat it as a mind flayer. I'm like, it's dope. And then I got another one. Refuse your father's. Don't take it in your father's name. I forget the wording or something. I'm like, so that means there's one for doing it in his name. Let me reload this shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna do both real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
So what was your final cutscene like if you were all monsters? Did you just off yourself right at the end?
No.
It's up to you. You have a bunch of different options. For my first playthrough, I did kill myself because they were like, you could end it right here if you wanted. And I was like, I don't see my druid being cool with this, so I'm gonna go. So yeah, took out a knife, stabbed myself, and died. That was the end of my first game. But my second game, I went to Avernus with Will and Karlak, and we're down in Avernus fighting things.
Oh, as a mind flayer?
As a mind flayer.
Okay.
Oh my god.
No, because I got to the end and Orpheus was like, "We had a deal. Kill me." I was like, "We had a deal." Fucking killed the shit out of him.
Ooh.
He didn't want to be a mind flayer. I got it.
I mean, that's fair.
Fucking killed the shit out of him.
And then I'm pretty sure Lae'zel like took off on a dragon to go into the astral plane to go kick the shit out of what's her name, Varkath.
Yep.
Varkath, Blackith.
The names don't matter.
It's
Names don't
the
matter. She's gonna be God.
I thought about letting Asterion take Ultra Vampire deal in my second run through. I haven't gotten to the end in that one, just because he like starts to burn in the sunlight because he's not parasite anymore, and he's just like, "Oh shit!" He runs away. And then Gale's gonna go scour the sea for the crown. But no, I also went to hell, but it was slightly different because I was like, "Yeah, I'm an orc. You're both demons. We fuck sometimes. Let's go."
Let's go. Yeah.
Like we got there. I was like, it feels weird that this is the resolution because I feel like in Act 2, Will and I were both like, what if you just went to hell though?
Yeah, and she
didn't die.
was against it and was like, I need you to respect my opinion as my friend and stuff. And I was like, I will, but like, there's another option. So in a way, I felt like, yeah, all right. So when the fucking chips are down, now you're cool with it, but you were like scolding me for being a bad friend for suggesting a different
You
option.
had to just show her that you had to at the very end, because I don't know, she was picturing being hell alone, and Will, her friend, and me, her more than friend, were both like, no, we can be
Yeah.
friends forever together. I mean, Will
Yeah.
slightly less so, and then we'll just hang out. It's hot, I guess, but we'll be fine.
We'll get over it.
I'm sorry, you're an expert at killing demons. He's got a magical deal to kill demons, and I smite. We're set up. For this.
And I
We're
smite.
good. We are good. No, that's all.
Yeah, I took over the world with Baldur on. My
I was
only
like-
friend that was okay with me murdering everyone.
Amazing.
Thought
Letters,
I
what was your
checked.
ending?
I chose to
Sorry, I got
live, but
rated.
to like live his life like one day at a time or whatever. And if he ever got too bad, he'd take himself out. But it was he was kind of just
Thank
cool
you for
with
the
it.
raid. Sorry, Dennis, I literally was asking you, and then we got raided by Reality Break. Thank you guys.
But yeah, he just kind of walked off into the sunset, more or less. I think from my character's perspective, he was a tiefling, dragon-blooded sorcerer. Like he was already something that people were like, "Ew," you know. So this is just like, it's just one extra layer up. I mean, I didn't see anything. Obviously,
Also, just for those who raided, thank you so much for the raid. We are talking Act 3 Baldur's Gate, just kind of like shooting the shit about our experiences. So if you do not want any spoilers, please turn away. Thank you very much for dropping by. But if you're worried about spoilers, I want to give you at least some kind of warning, because we are literally talking endings right now. So if you don't want to hear that, this is your warning to get out of here. But otherwise, thank you again. Reality Break is an awesome channel. I know they stream their D&D on most Tuesday nights. So they're awesome, and I haven't caught you guys in a while, but it's an intent, like very fun team, and I hope you had a wonderful stream. And thanks for dropping by. But as Dennis was saying, sorry.
what was I saying?
You just walked off into the sunset. You didn't hang out with none of your friends.
Well, Karlak and what's his name went to Avernus,
Yeah.
which wasn't an option
okay.
for me. For some reason, I just didn't get the. I'll join you, but Astarion was getting nuked. Gale decided to not be a fucking idiot for once in his life.
Yep.
And
Fucking seriously, I feel like I had like every conversation I had with Gale was me being like, "Don't do the thing, just fucking chill
I don't
out."
understand why you liked him as much
And
as
then-
you did, because you're like, you guys are terrible. Like he's a fucking moron, like a moron on the like that could destroy the world.
He
level
was,
moron.
but I definitely got like some grooming things from him from Mistress, so that's why I was like, he's an
still
idiot, but he was
moron.
also manipulated. So I was like,
he was a
sympathetic
grown-ass
to him.
man.
Yeah, I'm in that camp.
He
He's
was, but that power dynamic. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that for another time. But at the end when he was like, "I could go get it," I'm like, "What did we talk about this whole fucking time?" Literally the whole goddamn game, I was always like, "Don't fucking chill out, really, like relax. I know shit's weird, but just relax for a little bit." So at the end when he was doing it again, I was like, "You've learned nothing." All of our conversations were for nothing.
I mean, he wanted to go get it, but Mistra had
Oh,
said, "Go
God.
get it." So he was just going to do what he was told. I was like, "See, this is much better than blowing yourself up, isn't it?"
Oh my god. Yeah, just constantly trying to do some shit at the end. I'm trying to remember anyone else. I feel like nothing happened with Shadowheart. Like, I don't remember
she was
a turning
Shadow
point or
kinda
anything. She was,
already had
Yeah.
her ending of her story. Or like her arc was already like she did her thing and then she's just going along with the party to kind of
Yeah.
like, hey, we did my thing, now it's your turn.
Am I
Yeah.
making stuff up? Did she offer to help Lae'zel? I feel like they were kind of almost friends at the end. Was part of it.
Ooh, I don't remember that.
Maybe. I don't
Could
know.
be,
She was
yeah.
dead on my run.
same here. Bro.
Yeah.
Same.
Nope, the Shadowheart was just chilling in mine. I think she made a comment about Astarion when he ran away. But that was like the extent of it. I'm trying to think of the other characters, right? Because like I'm quite sure the Harpers and like Jahira and Minsk didn't say anything at the end.
I don't think they were even in the cutscene for me. I don't remember them at all.
I saw them lined up because like you have all your NPC guys
Yeah,
walking up to you
they
to
were-
the dock, and they were
Maybe.
there, but they didn't say anything.
I don't remember them
for
or
me at least.
Halston, really.
Who else? Yeah, Will. Obviously, we went to Avernus, And I think that's it for like the main ones, right? As far as I can see. Yeah, Lae'zel, each time they were like, you could persuade her to stay. And I was like, no, go liberate your people with fucking Orpheus or whatever. Have a good time. Enjoy your dragon. Bye-bye. I love you, but go bye. That's what you wanted. You talked about this shit the whole time. I can't make you stay. That's ridiculous.
I mean, that's where she wanted it, like the on the cutting edge of that rebellion. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no way she'd miss that.
Yep.
Plus, also, what? You're gonna tell her to stay and then go to Avernus? Be like, yeah, thanks for staying. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. Can you stay? I'm gonna go to hell, but you stay here. I think I did. Oh yeah, I remember reading on. It was like a Reddit post for Baldur's Gate, but someone was talking about how they romanced Lae'zel. They weren't a Githyanki, and at the end, they turned into the Illithid, and because of that, she was like, "I'm no longer interested," or whatever, and then like rode off on the dragon with Orpheus, and I was like, "Ooh, that's rough."
damn.
That is rough. Yeah. I didn't see it happen. I just read about it, and I was like, "That is." Whew. Can you imagine? The whole time, if you like turned just to save her savior, and then she's like, "Can't do it." Like, awesome. Thanks.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That is rough.
Oh, handle it.
Yo. Oh my goodness. All right. I think as we're talking about the closing parts, is there anything else you guys want to mention before we sort of wrap up? Because I think we're kind of getting to that point. We could start our raid relatively soon, but it was super fun talking about everyone's perspectives and what the heck happened for everybody, and seeing what we missed or maybe didn't understand,
or what just Joe missed,
or what just Joe, or what Foos missed and didn't understand what cursed meant.
Curse, big word.
Curse is a big word, that is. I don't know.
Big
what
word.
It means, but Turn Undead has a 100% success rate, so I'm not gonna right. on it. Yeah, that one, it was awesome. So thank you guys for chatting. Again, unfortunately, Brandon wasn't able to make it, but this was kind of a fun little way for us to yap about it and to hear everyone's perspectives, which was awesome. So yeah, I'm sure you'll hear us talking about Baldur's Gate in chat and whatever, and Discord and whatever, because I'm sure we're not done. We'll be revisiting things and all that, but
not even close.
Oh my god!
Remember how we were like, yeah, we'll talk for each act for like an hour.
Yeah, wishful fucking thinking right there.
And then the very first stream, I was like, guess this is just the Act 1 chat. Because that took 3.5 hours. But a lot of it also had
like 9 or 10 hours of just talking about it.
Yep.
And we even had to gloss over things. Like, there's plenty that we didn't like deep dive into.
True.
We were just kind of like, this was cool.
And then there's everything that's different with the Dark Urge run. But
that's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's true. I would kind of love for us to, I don't know, like maybe reconvene and hear some of the Dark Urge runs, because I know a few people are interested in it, but I don't want all of it spoiled for them just in case. And thank you for your patience on that too, because we're all talking everything else, and you're like, I had a experience I can't talk about.
Else that I can't talk about. Wow, it'd be really cool.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, thank you for understanding. But that was kind of a funny situation there. All right, so we're gonna go raid. I have a bunch of people who are on. I just don't know how long they'll be on for. But I think either way, we can go raid our good buddy Xanthos, because he's
fucking
awesome.
Xanthos, let's go.
And we love hanging out with him. Hold on, there he is. All right, he's playing Dragon Age Origins. So,
like the OG Origins?
The OG Origins.
Damn, that's actually involved with a kid.
It is quite old. But we're gonna go raid him. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us, and also for Shiny for being dragged onto our chats.
Shiny, thanks, man.
We'll drag you into more things, I'm sure. For dealing with us and all that. But everyone, have a wonderful night. Give Xanthos your love, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Good night.
Good night. And